Are live. Fuck, I already screwed up this.
Well, that's the beauty of it, right? We are ThoughtDrought. This is where your thoughts get fucking drained.
I don't like you. You took my whole thing. You're trying to replace me. See, this is what they're talking about when they talk about Mexicans coming over
Yeah.
the border.
Yeah, good old
Taking our
Florida
shit.
telling us to leave and then bringing us back in, right? They're like, "Oh, we don't want you to work here," but then it's like, "Who's gonna work then?" You're gonna tell us to
Certainly
stop
not me.
plowing, but then ask us to come back because no one to plow.
Listen.
Yeah, 87 views on that short. Damn.
Well, now we're actually streaming.
Yeah, we really gotta just stop and just put the short right when we press start live. You know.
This is ThoughtDrought, where your thoughts get drained. Now I did it.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
So we're here today.
Oh, I remember what we're talking about. So we're
yeah.
gonna talk about
DC.
computers.
What?
No, computers.
Oh,
DC.
all right.
Oh wow, we're gonna do this out of order.
I mean, I thought we were gonna do the DC one. We could do computers first.
Let's do computers first, and
Okay.
then the DC one, because the DC one's
Really riveting here with the laptop. Yeah, it's just we were talking before stream about how
we want to upgrade laptops.
yeah, because right now, I had a laptop that broke. The screen no longer works. I can hook it up to a TV. So I'm like, okay, I really need something on the go. So with a Chromebook, and Chromebooks, they're good if you're just typing.
Mm-hmm.
Not really for anything else. Gaming wise, though, I heard that Minecraft's finally coming to Chromebook, which would be really cool. But yeah, Chromebooks are pretty much ass, so we need a new laptop.
I've been using a MacBook 2017, which is nice. I have a certain standard because of it, but I was telling Saul about it. Like, those of you who've watched Linus Tech Tips, he's talked about the MacBook effect, where it's like, it's your first nice computer. It has the thanks. It has the nice set. It has the nice metal finish and the LEDs and all that. It's really nice. If you ever had a bullshit Windows notebook, you know what I mean.
Quality control for Macs are a lot higher than a typical Android.
Yeah, even if they're old as dirt, they're just generally nicer computers.
Yeah.
So I definitely fell into MacBooks are nicer. But I saw an Asus in the store the other day, a really nice one, and I gotta admit, the finish was nice, the screen looked good, keyboard was nice. It makes me want one, but then you're just here oh, get a gaming computer. I don't want to carry a nuclear suitcase.
Okay, that is true. You look at the aesthetic of this laptop on screen, it screams,
dork. I look like a freaking dork.
But then, if you want price per performance, you're gonna get a fucking good GPU with some good specs. All right, battery life will be ass because it's running
a graphics card.
Yeah, it's running a graphics card. Yeah, it's not just an embedded,
CPU and maybe an onboard graphics card, maybe a good one. But this would last a long time though. This would last a long
or you go with the Asus ZenBook where they rip off MacBook. Yeah.
Well, this is ZenBook.
Which they're good.
They're really good.
I'm a cheap person, and if somebody cares about the way my laptop looks, there's probably not a lot going on in their world.
Well, I just want one that's nice.
Yeah.
But this is better.
If you just like the aesthetic, then pay
it's
the
better
extra
priced to
$50 for the
performance
aesthetic.
though too than a MacBook. It's you still get the well. It's not even just that. It's the quality. It's
if you just want one that's
I don't want one that's look like it's from 2005.
You get 144 frames per second.
I don't give a fuck.
You get to watch everything in super fast frame rate. When you want to play Minecraft, you can make it reach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why are you going to use this?
I'm going to use it everywhere. That's the point. When I'm in the restroom, laptop. When I'm in the fucking hotel room, when I'm in the airplane,
okay.
144
Could you imagine working in an office? Everybody wears suits. It's all business casual.
Yeah. And
everybody walks in. They open one of these up. They open up a MacBook or whatever. And then here you are.
Yeah.
With the tank.
With my chat tank. Look, the girth of my laptop is bigger.
That's how you establish dominance?
It's bigger. It's fucking, for some reason, it's 18 inches instead of 14.
You're like that kid with the big backpack.
Well, fuck you. What? You couldn't afford my Giga Chad stock photo Paladin? Fuck you. Look at this nice computer. And then I'll be able to do anything. You could stream and game at the same time.
How heavy would that be? Oh, I know. It's only 7 pounds.
It's only heavy if you're not strong enough to lift it. All right? That's the problem.
It's unnecessary.
Just go take your steroids and pick up your your big old thing. Yeah,
Well,
look,
I'm just
it's
or just
thin.
get something nice,
It's thin.
or just get something nice that looks good and it's well made. I always wanted to try the
I
Windows
don't know. That's
equivalent.
pretty. That's weak. All right. There's no paladin on it. There's no Warhammer fucking soldier on it. All right. Well, there's some like blue modern art.
You're telling me I can't
Windows
beat
UI.
a person to death with it?
Yeah. What are you gonna do when they shoot up your office? All right. This is America.
You could put
Okay?
this on your chest and it would block a bullet.
It's body armor. And you're gonna tell me that isn't a selling point?
Now tell me. I know you're talking mad shit right now.
Yeah.
But you're telling me in your office setting with your millennial coworkers and Gen X coworkers, we're gonna take the freaking gaming.
Look, Gen Z
battle
is
station
coming
out.
in, all right, and Gen Z is going to have 50. Okay, no, it's gonna be
You're
more
gonna
like
take the
80-20. All right, I'll
Soviet-
leave the 20% that actually has a gaming.
You're gonna
laptop.
take the Soviet missile guidance system out of your backpack.
And it'll protect me from all the shootings. All right, look. When you're there and the 5.56 millimeter bullet goes through your chest.
Hi.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I saw we just
Hello.
saw chat.
Oh
Hello,
shit!
Mr.
We forgot to
Fancy
put on the
and
chat.
Adam
I'm so
Shamash.
sorry. We're talking about computers.
Yeah.
Hello. Listen, what do you guys think? Because
Yeah.
I'm of the mind that a laptop should be portable. It should be small.
Look, gaming
Should be-
laptops are still portable. They're just hefty.
Freaking huge, man.
Yeah.
They're like, you ever seen those old
I was gonna say Adam
2005
Shamash.
laptops?
Your name reminds me of Adam Smasher from Cyberpunk.
Oh,
It's
God.
just it evokes that in my mind. You just feel like a
Smash.
few letters off.
Shamash.
Yeah.
Hi,
Shamash.
mister.
Yeah.
Hi.
Ripper back.
Mr. Fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Mr. Fancy.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, man. The battle station, I'm gonna carry that
But
everywhere you
Battle
go.
Station is worth it. You get all of that. It's a pseudo body plate. You know, you're good. And this is America, all right?
In terms of price, they're
America
similar.
isn't known for its great designs. It's known for its strength, all right? You got your Paladin, Warhammer, 40K soldier.
I just wonder which one would last longer. This because it's well built, or this because souped up power.
The battery on that one will die first. Because it's, powering the Giga Chad GPU. All right.
Burning through that freaking battery right away. Yeah, no, I just really want one of these. This would be my next upgrade. If I can actually get a laptop, like one I really, really want to get, I would just buy an Asus ZenBook. So
I mean, you're not offending anybody's eyes.
well,
You're not gonna make them turn their head.
I just want it to be nice. I don't need it to be attractive to others. I just want it to look nice. To be well, not look nice, to just be of fine craftsmanship. Is that,
If you want to be sleek,
or
but
I
if you want
just
success is here.
I was gonna say power. That's how you establish dominance in any
Yeah.
business setting.
What are you gonna do when the ATF comes to your door? You have the little feminine Zen book, or are you gonna have the Paladin Knight for the God Emperor of Humanity?
No, I was gonna say. Could you imagine like, oh hey, fellow student / coworker of mine, can you pass me your lap? Yeah, yeah, here you go.
It's only heavy if they can't lift it, all right? And I can lift it. That's all that I need.
Jesus. All right, this was a dumb conversation. All right, whatever. I want to buy Asus. I've thought about buying gaming laptops, but
I guess. Do you want to go to that DC article?
Okay, one last point. Do you think it'd make more sense to buy a Steam Deck?
Steam Decks are nice. You're talking about the portable handheld?
The Switch, the Steam Switch
Yeah,
or whatever.
the Steam, the Nintendo Steam
Switch.
Dream, yeah. I could see why, because look, you just have a lot more to do with it. You can emulate Nintendo games on the Steam Deck, so why buy the Switch?
Why buy a supercomputer gaming laptop?
And that's another. I mean, unless you want to play in 144 frames a second.
Buy a desktop then.
Nah, but I'm gonna be in my hotel room, and I don't want to carry my laptop.
Well, actually, I have the product for you. You get the new Mac Air, the big Mac cheese grater with the wheels on it. Take it to any hotel room you want.
I'm okay. Mac can't run games. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Should we have a separate? I know before you would keep a stream right there. I don't know.
What are you talking about? What?
Because before you would have a phone right there.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I could do that.
Mm.
That might actually help.
Right now we're just talking about laptops, and then we'll get into politics because.
Oh, let's get into that stupid one you mentioned first.
Yeah, there was just a stupid one in DC where since it's not really a state, it's like a little fucking U.S. colony. Uh, they have different laws on weed, and they sided with the NIMBYs, the not in my backyard people, where
I hate them.
They didn't want the smell to be near them. And there's this guy who was smoking marijuana.
Here it is.
It's a medicinal product. Yeah.
Wait,
so here we go.
Hold on, just to make sure, just because these websites really like showing my email.
Yeah. That's the problem, right?
Here's all your shit. I mean, to be fair, they're not expecting most people to look at their website and stream.
So yes,
this is a problem. Because we're weird.
Yes.
Court order.
Yeah.
DC man to stop smoking pot where his neighbor can smell it. Oh, so you can still kind of smoke it in his
But not at his home. But you can't smoke it in public.
You effectively can't smoke it anywhere.
Yeah, it's like so what, at your friend's house?
Or you got a vape now.
You're back in high school? Or so that's the thing, right? In the court order, they say that he can't smoke it at his house or near his neighbor within like a certain amount of feet, which is shitty. It's like, okay, so you can't do what you want in your own home. But they didn't say that he couldn't make brownies. They didn't say which would smell a lot, but it says it's for smoking it.
Only in fucking America, man.
Yeah.
And they be like, can you get to the top, buy your own home, own your own shit, and the government will still tell you, no, can't smoke on it.
And especially if you're doing it for a medicinal reason, like you have Parkinson's or something, and it helps you. I could see this being a really horrible thing. The judge is like, well, yeah, sure, you'd like to feel better, but he doesn't like the smell of skunk.
Your life,
annoys
him. So stop it. Listen, though. This is why...
I can understand.
No, but this is why, whenever we talk about this shit, whenever we talk about, buying, getting a home, which we never will because the economy's ass, but if we ever do, through some miracle or another recession, and we time it right, I don't want to buy a house over here next to a bunch of people. I don't know, man. I kind of want to buy, not somewhere in hick country, but, somewhere in the middle, man. I don't know. Somewhere where I got a little bit of space. Because, I like smoking, for example. And I really don't want to deal with other people's freaking complaining. Because I dare smoke on my front porch.
Yeah, so that's why you gotta live in a rural area. Live out in the boonies, or where they have cow pies everywhere. So that nobody can smell your weed.
Yeah, it's well, no, I don't want to exist on... I literally just said I want to exist out in the fucking boonies. But it's it is very frustrating that you can literally buy your own home, have your own place, and the government will still be like, well, even in the privacy of your own home, it's still bugging people.
Yeah.
It's tough shit. So you're telling me that...
But then again, he didn't buy the air that's next to him. You didn't buy the air traffic.
So does that mean that I'm gonna that means I can't grill there too?
Well, grilling's nice. Fuck the vegans, right? Let me see. That would be it's the vegans I hate the smell of meat.
I hate the smell of meat. I'm gonna go to the HOA and I'm gonna complain. No fucking barbecuing, unless you're barbecuing corn.
But that would be anti-American. 4th of July's coming up, all right?
I think smoking weed is American. It's the most American thing we can do. Practicing on freedom. Freedom. Oh, hey, we got a viewer. Oh, it's probably me.
I think it's within our own, At least one of them liked it.
Yeah.
One like. If you're watching, like and subscribe. Why not? I mean,
like it and subscribe. That's
If I was doing this for the watch or the subscribers, I would cry. But,
Oh, well. So... Does this make you love America?
It makes me pessimistic for the direction which America is going to take weed.
To be fair with you, though, it's kind of a weird issue for America because it's we really hate smoking. in recent years,
But
smoking
then
is
you
really...
wouldn't tell somebody they can't smoke cigarettes anymore in their home. You wouldn't just go and be like, hey, you know, you have tar in your mouth, stop it. You know, you wouldn't, there's no court orders for you to stop. Okay, maybe there is some part. All right, 300 million people, you could probably find an exception to everything. But it isn't a thing where people are told to stop smoking in their own home. Good luck.
True,
you know?
But they're also allowed to smoke literally everywhere. I know.
Yeah,
I know it's not like
if you
how
want to
it
smoke
used
cigarettes,
to be.
it's not like the cops. You can smoke cigarettes when driving. You know, like
Yeah.
it's not really taboo in the sense that you can't do it. It's a taboo in that you shouldn't do it. But
you're gross if you do it, but like...
Yeah.
And I can say that because I was briefly addicted to cigarettes. And how do I know I was briefly addicted if it was so brief? Because I smoked half a pack a day at 22.
Newports and
Newports. Camel
Yeah.
Crushes. And we still smoke from time to time, but it's more like wine. But still, that sounds... Yeah, I was really addicted. I smoked every day at one point. So, it's like...
Yeah.
But that's the point, right?
It's
like
just an
smoking
easier way
shit.
to like consume nicotine.
Listen, to be honest with you, don't smoke, period. If you guys don't need it.
Yeah, no,
don't we're not encouraging
don't
drug usage.
Don't do
if you already don't do drugs, don't. If you already do them, whatever, smoke with us. But yeah, like if you're not in them, don't do them. But
yeah, don't listen to this.
Yeah, don't. And if you're going to smoke, if you're hell bent on smoking and you're in a legal state, honestly, even if you're not, but get CBD or get marijuana where you can, where it's okay, because like, it's. You're not gonna get addicted to it. It'll fuck you up way better anyway your first time. Cigarettes, you know what happened to me the first time I got really fucked up on cigarettes? I got fucking sick and throw up and like laid in bed.
Nicotine makes you want to throw up. Like if you smoke a cigar, it can really get you sick, but
fuck up your day.
Yeah.
Or at least like not your day, but it'd fuck up like an hour or two.
Nicotine's weird like that.
Yeah, when you just let it end. But like, you know.
Versus weed that, you know, makes you better.
So you want to go through this stuff real quick?
Huh?
You want to go through these things real quick?
Yeah. I don't know the link for it, but there's a video or a Smosh.
You want to do Starfield or Smosh?
Today we're going to talk about how tonight.
Up to you.
Let's do Starfield.
Alright.
So, we usually talk about politics and sometimes other stuff, but we also talk about games.
Starfield.
I know. So,
whoa, Commanders and Alliance Artless Fallen. Don't click on. They're going to get you. Oh boy. I'm
trying to find Xbox. The gameplay overview.
Yeah, I mean,
the way
if Xbox can't create a new game, they gotta buy them.
Okay, it looks like I can't find
the big showcase.
No, I don't know if you remember, but when Fallout 4 released their presentation, someone made an edit of the demo.
Yeah.
I'm not able to find that here. But basically, yeah, Bethesda just released more footage of Starfield a little while back, a little over a week ago. We're not going to show too much because Bethesda, we may get copyrighted because this is a big company.
I mean, I'd be surprised if they're just outgoing like, I mean, for noise and, you know, the soundtrack.
Then.
Huh?
Let's keep the noise and soundtrack off then.
Yeah, the soundtrack, I can understand that, like, oh, well, our musicians...
So
like, I don't think anybody's listening to their music through our... whatever.
Well, all I know is we can talk about things we like or things we don't like. You're a little more excited for this.
In the worlds look really nice. Like, it looks... like, I feel like the design and the way they made the world looks good. Like, this crystal area.
Underground cavern.
Looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, it does. Yes, I just wonder how much, like, because, like, in No Man's Sky, they only have, like, single biome planets, for example. So, I wonder if that will be the case here. As far as I know, as far as I know, and people can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but as far as I know, like, none of the big 3 space games have, like, poles. Like, they don't have multi-climate planets. all the planets are one thing. Even in like No Man's Sky, it's one.
And that's how they make it easier on the system, huh?
Probably.
It's like, well, okay, you're just one thing.
There's 6 of these bitches in one
To
place.
be fair, though, it's like,
system.
how do you make it so varied? It's like, like...
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear.
Billion planets. It only makes sense to make them all one biome.
If you want to stretch it out, if you really want to stretch the definition, No Man's Sky, I guess you could technically say, well, yeah, has 3 per planet if you count ocean, caves, the land. But like the caves have like 1 animal in them. Oceans, I mean, the oceans, like there's only 5 preset oceans and they all sort of just...
Is there animals in the oceans now?
Yeah, tons of them.
Okay.
Yeah. But like yeah, I do like the verticality of it. Like this looks like it might actually be vertical, like we can go underground and
like it's gonna be more in depth No Man's Sky.
I wonder if there'll be like a city in the clouds.
They haven't shown any city in the clouds, which makes me think there probably isn't, because I feel like they would show that off if that was like part of their game. Like, oh look, here's like if there's a Halo ring, they show Halo ring, but like a city in the clouds, like
wouldn't that
Star
be cool?
Wars, is it Bespin?
Yeah, it's Bespin. That's exactly what I was referencing.
Yeah, it's like like I feel like that would have been part of the showcase. Like, hey, look at this graphical
masterpiece of like the ship flying through the clouds, and
which is sort of a missed opportunity if they don't add that in.
Yeah, no, like, well, that's why people are really, really excited about Star Citizen. Star Citizen managed to actually have like Coruscant, basically,
with like a multi-layered world.
Kinda. It's more like zones of it, while a lot of it's just stuff you fly over. It looks like. I can't tell. A lot of it looks like you just fly over it. Yeah, and then No Man's Sky, you got the got Mos Eisley, but that's about it. And then in Elite, it was like Elite has the I forgot what they have.
Nobody remembers Elite. They're gone.
Yeah,
they abandoned the consoles. So
they did abandon the consoles.
They're forgotten. They're no longer part of the conversation. All right.
Here's my problem though. You were super excited at first.
For Starfield?
No. See, when I said it looked a lot like Fallout 4, you said no.
Well, I'm not saying it isn't going to be a Bethesda game. All right. They're probably have a lot of the same stuff. Like when I look at the pose of one of them holding something that looks like a Gatling gun, it's sort of the same animation they use for when you're holding a flamethrower or a laser Gatling gun in Fallout. Like, I can understand it's going to feel like Bethesda. Like, even when you look at the person sitting with the head turn, that reminds me of Skyrim.
Look at that faces, too.
Yeah.
The blank stares.
Yeah. Like, person sitting looking left, that's Skyrim. Like, brain going back 2010. Like,
animatronic. Oh, hey! Oh my god. Is that Preston Garvey's trench coat?
Oh boy, here we go. It's padding.
Oh, that's nice. He got it upgraded.
Preston Garvey's trench coat was like white.
Okay, fine. The radiation suits.
Oh, those? Yeah, I mean, if you're redoing NASA. Which I've heard some people frame this as NASA punk. Which I can sort of see that.
NASA punk's dope.
They're leaning a lot more on punk than NASA. I'll say.
I love NASA punk.
NASA punk's cool, but there's not enough NASA.
Mm-hmm.
Like
there's more cyberpunk in this.
Yeah, there's more cyberpunk.
Well, in this particular scene,
yeah.
let's go. Cause okay, this is definitely more NASA punk.
Yeah.
See, I just discovered NASA punk. I've been a sci-fi fan for years, years, ever since I was a kid, basically. And I didn't know that was a specific. I should have known, but that wasn't. I didn't know that. So, I always I like the NASA aesthetic, but I never liked how sterile it was. That's why I really like the NASA punk. It's I feel like this is what we do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you let a bunch of non-scientists run around in a fucking base meant for NASA scientists, it's gonna get all grimy and dirty and gross and used up.
The janitor.
Yeah.
The janitor's gonna have a horrible time. Oh, look, the kneeling animation's the same. But look at that robot.
They designed great. Look, the art style is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I love it. The way they design
those buttons.
But yeah. I mean,
yeah.
The way they
the animation whenever you leave every single planet.
Oh yeah. That's really bad in my opinion, but maybe it won't be because a lot of people aren't coming from the space genre like I am. Oh. Oh. That one looks like the jetpack animation. Though admittedly, okay, you know what I'm super curious about? I want to know how it feels. I want to know how the freaking vehicle flying in this game feels.
The vehicles in the creation engine?
In the creation engine?
I mean, who knows? Maybe that's where all the years went. 25 years in the making, 24 were on the fucking vehicles, alright?
During the height of the Fallout 76 controversies, the real cynic in me was like, man, if the next game is creation engine, it's gonna suck. I remember saying that like a lot, and I'm just thinking about it now. It's in the back of my head. I'm like, half of me just wants to be like
20 years of polish, all right? Like they're gonna be able. Xbox threw their money. Todd Howard said, "Hey, this is my dream," and Xbox said, "No, it's my dream."
Xbox like
it's only for us.
You must sell us.
And look, they got an extra year for development, and it seems like it paid off. It's
like making a baby carry a backpack full of rocks. And then getting mad at it when it inevitably falls.
Look, we'll see. It
drops all the rocks.
It looks. Look, as the person who has Game Pass, I'm happy. Okay?
You act like Bethesda's never come home drunk before.
Yeah, 76. They were at their worst. All right, they scummed out to a bunch of people. I never played ESO that much. All right, I've been deprived of Bethesda for like.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
That's how they get. I played 76 a lot.
I did, but it just wasn't.
Not that much.
Like, oh, look, take this out and stop the robots from coming in, and then you lose it the next time you come. I don't.
Yeah, I played it like for 20 hours, I think, because they had some free time, and they had the battle. Oh my god, they had the Battle Royale mode, too.
Oh, yeah, which the game's not made for Battle Royale.
Can I just say the fact that existed at any point in my life?
Well, everyone was doing Battle Royale. The loading screens on Fallout.
I'm reminding myself why this is going to be bad.
There's no Battle Royale, though.
Yeah, but that just means Bethesda's going to do whatever they can.
Look. Alright. It's going to be good.
I bet they're going to add
16 times the game, alright?
They're going to add co-op, and you're just going to be there. They were like, no, it's good.
There's no co-op. They haven't lied to us about it. They didn't try to say there's going to be co-op and then put no co-op.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, the day they do, I feel like you're going to be like, yes. Because more players is more better.
And more players is more better.
Poor old me over here, freaking be over here like, meh. My single player experience.
I'm ready to play it for free.
I'm ready to never stop buying shit for this game because they'll just monetize it forever. Yay, Battle Pass number 8. Like,
I don't know. They haven't announced that there will be Battle Passes.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying if they ever go co-op, though.
Oh, if they do.
Yeah.
Well, like, if I'm looking at it from where it's going to be on launch day, it'll just be a really big RPG for $60. Par for the course.
I'm going back and forth. I'm deprived like you are. I do like a Bethesda style game.
I'd like something bigger than the Outer Worlds.
It'd be nice to see something kind of like Star Citizen actually be made on something I can actually play on, aka PS5. That'd be nice. But at the same time, it's Bethesda. Actually, no, it's not on PS5. I fucking forgot. It's on Xbox.
Yep.
And it's not even 60 FPS.
They might have Spider-Man. They might have God of War. They might have Forbidden West. They might have
Ghost of Tsushima.
They
goes fucking on and on.
Let me go through every single finger, right? But we have Starfield. Todd Howard is our slave now, all right?
In theory,
He's our genie in the bottle.
in theory, if they bought them like before Fallout 4, could you imagine if they bought these guys like just like?
And then what? Then 76 and ESO were both Xbox exclusives.
Yeah, and then I could have spent the last 6 years laughing at you.
Yeah, but no, they bought them right before his dream See, that's the part I never really realized is that he said Starfield is his dream project, 25 years in the making. But then you're okay with it only being sold to half the console consumers? Like, if it was really your dream, wouldn't you want it to be sold to every gamer? To everybody who's willing to play your game?
And here's the
It just seems a little ironic that he would be like, all right, I'll take the Xbox money, and then it'll be stuck to only half the player base.
But I'm guaranteed success.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. He got, like, after that, he got another year of development. So maybe he thought at least the game will be polished.
Hello, viewer. We're talking about Starfield and how it's probably going to suck.
Yeah, we're about to. I think we're about to go back to politics. But we're already talking about Starfield. Or no, I don't know.
We're going to talk about Smosh and stuff.
Oh
next
yeah,
for a bit.
yeah. No, I saw there was the Smosh. They said they bought back their channel, which that's interesting. As somebody who first watched Smosh when I was a wee lad,
I have a story.
Small.
Hey, viewer, I have a story. So
Before
YouTube, you'll love this. Oh, trust me, it's about Smosh. It's about Smosh. You'll love this. There was a video, a music video they made called Fire Truck, where it goes, it starts with F and it ends with uck. Fire truck. I pulled the wire out of my headphones, and I really like the music. So I showed my cousin, my female cousin, the song, and she thought it was kind of funny. Then I found they came over to my house and I showed her the video. She's like 5-6 years. She's like 10 years older than me. She's quite a bit older than me, right?
It's like, here's my dumb little brother showing
basically,
me the
yes, running meme,
song.
showing her memes. Then she goes back into the living room for a bit, right? And I keep watching Smosh, and I found Put That Meat in Your Mouth. Oh, hey, cousin, come here. I have something to show you.
Here's the Put Your Meat in the Mouth song.
Put your meat in your mouth. And the girl's on her knees, and they're freaking dumping mini sausages in her face. That did not go well.
Reference. I was thinking, like,
how do you think that went?
Something more wholesome.
How do you think that went? How do you think she reacted?
I'm pretty sure they approved.
She did not. She was very upset with me.
My brain was going in a whole other direction.
No, she was very upset with me. She was like, "Why are you watching this sexist bullshit?" Mind you, they thought that was sexist. This is how far the pendulum swung. Okay?
Yeah.
We went from don't watch shit about throwing weenies at women's faces to force your weenie on a woman if that's alpha G Tate behavior.
Tate, alpha G. Yeah.
Man. So there's that. That's the story that stuck out to me about Smosh from my youth.
It's just when you brought the fire truck, it reminded me when I had this teacher who talked about how,
save it,
be what you want to be. It's like middle school, like be what you want to be. And he had a friend who told his parents, like, what I want to be is a fire truck. And they're like, what? Like a fireman? And he's like, no, I want to be a fire truck. And it's like Billy, you can't be a fucking fire truck. Like, what the fuck does that mean? It's like, I don't know if it was a story saying he was something like, but that's where my mind went. Mine didn't go to meat in your mouth.
I showed one of my female cousins who was probably just starting out at being an adult, or like she was like right about to enter college, and I literally showed her a song called "Put That Meat in Your Mouth," and this is why I thought women were no fun growing up.
Because they didn't want the meat in your mouth song?
Because they can't take a fucking joke. You know how many sexual jokes they all make nowadays? They all make those kinds of jokes all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But back then,
Anita Sarkeesian.
God, yeah.
That's an old one.
Yeah, it is old. God, yeah. Well, I'm on, hot take. She kind of did have a point, but she also was very bad at representing her point.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Anita Sarkeesian back then saying, like, it's sexist to be able to kill sex workers in GTA.
The point that I liked from her, that I think she had a really good point on, but she did a really bad job showcasing it, was women as background drops.
As, like, loading screens?
No, like, like women would literally be like akin to background decorations in some games.
Oh, because like they're just sort of there
Mm-hmm.
for the sex appeal, basically.
But like she showed off Hitman, which was kind of dumb because arguably they actually have a semi-proactive.
To be fair,
they're not
probably
proactive.
playing the algorithm. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this inflammatory thing, and you look at stuff today like TikTok where they're just showing you stuff to make you angry.
You know, to be fair,
she was doing it to a T.
You know, now that I think about it, actually, no, technically she's actually kind of right about Hitman because the counter argument for Hitman players was that like they don't encourage you to kill them, but her point was that they're just not like proactive in the story.
Oh, like they're just, it's like, why do you even have them here if they're not going to say
You're
anything?
akin to a box that I stack on another box.
Yeah.
Which is fair. That's a lot of
I was going to say, like, there's
games.
a lot of male NPCs that are basically like that, but then again, at least there's some male people who actually have story to them. You know, they actually have dialogue. Yeah, I can see that argument, but then I still remember her saying, like, oh, well, it's sexist to be able to kill women in GTA.
That's stupid as shit.
Which I guess half right, half wrong.
That's fucking stupid.
Making a segment about her too back in the day.
That would have been a good segment. I still think that might be a good. I mean, this kind of is that segment.
Looking back at the old feminist versus now.
I mean, like, because like I said, like I think she had some points here and there, but
Yeah.
I think she was just very bad at representing them. There was one thing I wasn't a big fan of though. Like, I don't know if you ever saw how people talked about how she faked how much of a gamer she was. You remember that?
Barely.
That was weird because it was like people were like, oh, here's a picture of her with games, but then here's a video of her saying she's never played games.
If I remember right, I remember The Amazing Atheist making a lot of stuff about her as well.
Yeah, he did.
Talking about how he sent more money to like a feminist group than she did.
That was funny.
And that she was sort of like a grifter because she took like a bunch of money but didn't send it.
Well, I remember Thunderfoot's problem, another SJW, and I think his problems are more valid.
And by the way, like to the viewer, if you want us to see something,
you
could watch. I mean, if you want to send it, we'll watch it.
Yeah, I guess we should finish up on this. The only thing that I think the most valid criticism that I think was made of her was the fact that, as far as I know, she never delivered on the full like campaign fundraiser promise. I think she was supposed to make like 13.
Yeah.
But she never made them all. So it's like I know the internet hate fucked you to death, but like I don't know.
Live up to your word.
It's a money thing. Nice. It's a little different, like money obligations. You know what I mean? Like you should honor them.
Yeah.
If people are paying you to do something.
Yeah. If you're not gonna refund them, you know.
Yeah, and if you're not gonna refund them, especially, you should.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I don't know if you want to watch the Smosh video or if you want to Smosh.
Sure. Smosh buys buyback.
Yeah.
Oh.
God. I still remember the first Smosh video that I watched.
Oh, hey.
Going to the mountains.
The Google tablet.
Oh, no.
The OnePlus tablet looks real. Okay. I do like the charger for it. I like the charging stand for it. But I think the OnePlus tablet looks better. I like the draw.
But Google, your overlord.
Oh.
All right. Here's your American overlord. And then OnePlus is the Chinese overlord. And they're competing.
But they also give you it's like an iPad. You can draw on it.
Yes, but this one can be used for all of your home accessories. So if you have the Google cameras, the Google surveillance state in your home, all right, it'll work seamlessly.
Screw
their AI is also a lot better than what
you never doodled. You're telling me you don't doodle?
When I had a touchscreen laptop, I doodled some.
Okay, that's heavy as fuck. I'm talking about a light tablet that you can just sort of curl up
probably
with.
Doodle a little bit, but if I'm buying the tablet, I'd probably want it for a home system anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh look, I have my doorbell in the front to see if the delivery driver's not really a fucking rapist. Like, yeah, sure, okay. Like,
oh my god,
because
for me personally, I see myself sitting in bed. Drawing on the tablet with the pen.
I mean, if that's what you wanted for, then maybe the OnePlus is better, but yeah.
Fair enough. You suck. You can't have different opinions.
Yeah.
This is communism. State of Daniel.
It's communism.
Alright, so before we go into
China.
it, you want to go over this real quickly? So basically, or do you want to let them talk about it? Let's go over it real quick.
So the original creators of Smosh, Ian and Anthony, have bought back Smosh, which is sort of interesting. I wonder if they'll even have the time for it.
That's why we brought up those stories. Yeah. We got sidetracked, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, and I remember watching Smosh. It was one of the first things I ever really watched on YouTube. I remember being young as fuck and just like being exposed to videos like We're Going to the Mountains and just the crazy random skits.
I remember that. I really liked the
food.
Star Wars versus Harry Potter. Oh, the food fight.
The food, yeah, and I was thinking about like
the donut.
Yeah, the donut. Yeah,
the donut versus all.
Ian would always have the same fucking pink frosted sprinkle donut, and then Anthony would have some random shit.
Mm-hmm. I remember. Yeah. Well, we already talked about it, right? Like, freaking trolling my cousin with the freaking videos.
But then I'm thinking, like, did they even have the time to make? Because like Anthony's out here doing interviews.
The hell's Ian up to nowadays?
He kept with the channel, if I remember right. They would just do skits on there. Although I stopped watching after it sort of broke apart and Anthony left because I'm like, well, it's not really Smosh.
I kind of grew out of it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, because like they made it for a demographic, and I stopped being the demographic.
Yeah,
so
a while ago.
Yeah,
old.
Yeah, you get old.
Oh. God, they're so old now.
Yeah, I mean it's been like 20.
Oh my God. Anthony turned into like an edgy K-pop singer, dude.
Yeah, his hairstyle is...
The tattoos on his hands.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The hairstyle, the nose ring. But I mean, good for him.
I mean, people like the androgynous thing nowadays.
And then Ian is just like IT worker.
I mean, straight up, Anthony's pretty damn hot. I'm gonna lie. I can't cap about that.
I'll say this. As a person with curly hair, the curly hairstyle like that where it's long... is hard to fucking maintain.
It's hard.
I respect him maintaining it.
I think he has hairdressers.
Oh yeah, I mean he probably has enough money to do all that, but still.
So, in 2005, Anthony and I created this channel Smosh as a way to make each other laugh and just have fun. And very quickly, it resonated with millions of people, and it turned into a career for us making YouTube videos. This was a dream that we never realized was possible and was just so awesome. But after 6 years of doing almost everything ourselves and the rate at which we were putting out videos, we realized it wasn't a sustainable thing and we needed help.
So in 2011, we were approached by a company who offered to buy Smosh, and they promised to help us turn it into everything we'd ever dreamed of.
Just made a deal with the devil.
You know what? Sold. The quality of the videos rapidly started increasing.
Take my money.
They started.
Or no, sorry. Give me money. Oh, the Assassin's Creed route.
We did some movies.
We did movies. We did comic book, live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
the Assassin's Creed. I remember it's fucking. Yeah, that was huge.
That was
back
cool.
in the day. Yeah.
Wow. You know, he unironically, because like I was really into game rap as a kid.
Dan Bull.
Yeah, Dan Bull, Bryce I, JT Machinima. There's still a few. I still check in there every once in a while because I like rap music, and you know, I still am a nerd. I still look over there from time to time. There's a few new ones. There's new few artists in there. I forget their names, but they're good. Bryce I's gone, which is sad, but you know, the
Dan Bull gone.
No, he's still around.
Okay.
But I like how they were just like, we're just gonna make one, and it's gonna be like a freaking viral hit, and we're because you know, like a lot of
I think they also made a Link one.
Because you know there was like two eras. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. There were like two eras of game music. Like the way it started out was all of it was like parody.
Yeah, I know, it was just parody goofing,
and then it turned into like real music later on.
Yeah, and also there was like some of it was really serious.
Yeah, no, it got pretty serious at some point. It was like,
well, some of it was like I remember Dan Bull's Fallout rap or like the special rap.
Oh yeah,
that one I thought was really good.
God, that takes me back.
Yeah. And the Assassin's Creed rap, or I think it was Assassin's Creed 3. That was really. Oh god, I can't imagine that in today's politics where it's like, oh look, this like person he's playing as a Native American. I don't know if Anthony is part Native. I mean, Padilla.
Oh my god,
Hispanic.
yeah.
But could you imagine if it's like they have a person who's not Native American?
God, everything today sucks.
Being angry. Well, you know.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see them.
God,
I don't know.
Man, seeing those old clips though brought me back.
Oh, does it feel a little bit weird though that now they're gonna be old and sort of past all that and returning to it? Because I almost don't want them.
It's borderline boomer humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll make fun of it. It'll be content.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope
It'll be kind of sad though.
I hope it's good and that it's not
Life
something
coming
people
full
make fun
circle.
of, but,
Nope.
you know.
Life comes full circle. We're
Yeah.
making fun of people who used to make fun of other people for us.
It would be something that I grew up with, and then they redo for nostalgia bait, and I'll just be sad.
Like when Disney makes a live action.
Yeah, it's like people who grew up with Lion King, and it's like, look, Lion King in fucking live action. I'm like,
They're about to ruin Moana for me. They're about to make a live action of it. And I'm
yes,
like,
with
and
like,
I'm gonna
The Rock
watch it.
shaking his freaking pecs in front of random native.
He's the only guy who's gonna
Please.
match his cartoon like character. It's gonna be really funny, but
Yeah.
still, like let's go.
There was a magazine. There was 2 issues of a
A
magazine.
mobile game, a lot of stuff, which was
Actually,
really
I
cool
played the mobile
to have the
game.
opportunity to
I
do all
remember.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But
I remember them taking a long time to come out with the mobile game, and they came out with it, and it was just so like I don't want to say it was like it was a good game, but I don't know. Like I don't know how to feel about the game. I remember playing it and it was okay. It reminded me of Pokemon, but I mean back then there wasn't really that many good like mobile
Budgeted
games.
titles.
Huh? Yeah.
You know, I will say this, that it is kind of nice that they actually tried investing, because at that time, that was back when mobile games were viewed as like possibly like the future,
Yeah.
before the shovelware and like all that got
Mhm.
really out of hand.
And there wasn't I mean, there was microtransactions, but it wasn't like literally put in another $10 to play. You know, you look at some games today where it's just that.
Yeah.
It's just only whales. We only want whales here.
It sucks
Like, you could
because
play
in
the
theory...
game. I think you had to buy it maybe for a couple bucks, but you were able to play the whole game.
Oh yeah, see, look, by the way, J-Pop, tattoo hands.
Okay, look, a tattoo hand
And the rings.
Look, I mean, he's living his best life.
But
He's keeping up the aesthetic.
but you know what really sucks about the mobile gaming demise is that mobile gaming's kind of died out until the Switch came out and the Steam Deck.
Well,
But like
mobile
and
games
before those
still make
two,
the most amount of money.
well, that's what I was gonna say. But well, kind of like in terms of like the AAA industry, they're not really like they don't take it seriously in the same way they take
Yeah.
the consoles or the PC seriously.
I remember Smosh taking the food game seriously.
Yeah, they did. That's
Yeah.
why it was a big breath of fresh air. Let's continue. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't play it that much.
I played it through. I actually liked it, but that was probably one of the only few mobile games I ever really played. Because I don't like playing shooters and other games on a mobile platform, but for something like that game and Pokemon and other like simple platformers, it fits.
No.
No, okay.
But I realized that I had no time or energy to commit to creating the sketches that Ian and I made together, which I felt was the foundation of what made Smosh Smosh. So I kept pushing through, but after about 6 years, I realized that this company's goals for Smosh were just too different from my own. So I left to create a channel on my own as an independent creator.
And I stayed on at Smosh because I felt like there was still so much more to do on that channel. However, our parent company suddenly went out of business in 2018, which threatened.
What was this?
Talking about how
that channel. However, our parent
Their
company
parent
suddenly
company.
went out of business in 2018.
Oh,
yeah, the parent
which
company failed.
threatened the existence of Smosh. Fortunately, Rhett and Link stepped in with Mythical Entertainment and acquired Smosh and helped it live up to today.
It's weird how these YouTube like Renling, how they have a whole entertainment company, and how YouTubers become so big where they have their own media groups.
You know what? I find that it's even shit. Okay, that is weird, but that actually gives me hope. Maybe one day we can turn this into a media group thing.
Yeah, and
I
also,
would love that.
Technically,
but-
it's all pretty much independent, no? So like,
Yeah, no, I would love to tie like the YouTube channels together into like a big Patreon.
Mhm.
That'd be great. But actually, what I was gonna say was the fact that I always found it so fucking weird how if a company goes under, they can like a lot of their IPs just like they either get all sold off or
or dies with them.
yeah, like it gets like someone from the company takes it, puts it basically in their vault.
Like I've heard stories like this, just some IPs you cannot remake because the person has it and they're not selling it.
They're just they just sit on it.
Yeah,
like a
and
freaking
it dies with
dragon.
Yeah, or they become tax write-offs.
Yeah, it's so dumb,
And
man.
they have to buy from the state, if I remember right.
It really does seem like it kills creativity sometimes.
Yeah,
but you know,
the capitalist system.
le Reddit communism, le communism, the bourgeoisie will overtake the film industry.
Just give it to like open source market, like Winnie the Pooh. You know, just if your company crash and burn, let somebody else take up the mantle.
No, it dies with us.
Yeah, no, literally.
Smoosh? Yeah, smoosh.
Yeah, because we saw that Smosh is now bought back by the original creators, Anthony and Ian.
Yeah.
Which,
and timeout stuff.
As somebody who watched them when I was really young, I'm both happy but also suspicious because I mean I don't think they're the same people they were back then.
Basically, we're worried about them doing boomer humor.
Yeah.
Because look at them. They're old. They're not old. They're like what, like millennials, right?
I don't think they're millennials.
Yeah.
Oh, can I look up like? The thing is, millennials I think now are like in their 50s. Like
no, what the fuck? What? Millennials.
Wait. Yeah, no, sorry.
25 to
I was getting millennials mixed up with boomers. Sorry.
God damn.
Millennials are old.
I only said it's who cares? I won't watch them.
You won't watch them?
Did you watch them growing? Did you watch them growing up though? Because that's really like for sure. I'm way too old to watch them now. But
you grew out
remember
of
watching them as a kid.
Huh?
Well, I was gonna say like I remember watching them as a kid, so that's why I brought it up.
And I was thinking like maybe we could watch one of their old videos.
Oh god.
To see like does it stand up to the test of time, like just the humor alone?
God.
Maybe if I was a kid it would still stand, like if I showed it to like a younger cousin.
If my brain was 10-20% formed, yeah.
Was it all baby humor? I hope not. Maybe the nostalgia will hit me and I'll just drink the nostalgia drip and it'll be okay.
Yes, meat in your mouth. Many layers to this humor. No?
No. I mean, fair.
Well, I mean, look, man, you listen.
Have you ever look? We could show you. We're going to the mountains. You know, maybe it's ass. I haven't seen it in like 10 years.
Are we really gonna try to sell a random user someone else?
I mean, if that's what they want
God
to see.
damn, no, they don't. They just said they don't want to see him.
What do they know? They don't know the history. I mean, did you used to watch Smosh when you were young?
He said no.
Oh,
he did. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I watched them years ago, but now it's not.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah.
That's why, like, on a level, I'm so suspicious because it's like
your brain formed.
You know, like your brain formed and their brains formed, and it's like Anthony's doing interviews with Vsauce now, where he talks about doing ayahuasca for money, and it's like it's like they're totally different people. Like, can they come back to the same mindsets they were when they were like 20? You know, like I don't know.
Hey, is it just me? But Acorn Slop, do you think Anthony looks like kind of like a K-pop singer in his current get up?
I don't know. K-pop singers don't have curly hair.
True.
One thing that, but I respect the curly hair though.
Fashion sense and mild androgynousness, though.
But I guess
he's probably a big guy, though. I remember Anthony was supposed to be like really tall in real life.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Lightweight division.
What mindset? It's just stupid skits. Well, like
I
meant that. Oh god.
It depends on what you want to look at from Smosh.
I meant like it was meant for kids. Like like teens and shit too, like kids and teens.
It's like different mindsets have different types of humor. It's like the humor that they're doing is different from what other people would do.
Yeah, because it's like me in your mouth is funny when you're like 13.
It's true
because you think they literally just taught you a metaphor, so like you think you're really smart because you got it, but really you're a fucking idiot. Because you just got it. So, that's me. But. What are they planning to do? Let's see.
So flash forward to last year, Ian and I started hanging out a ton, and
Oh,
we
they rekindled their marriage.
Oh,
realized
it is Pride
that
Month. All right, it is. Gotta
so
rekindle
cute.
that bromance.
The sparks came back.
the sketches that we'd made.
All they needed was their baby.
Yeah.
Tell me it's not
the
true.
Baby saved the marriage.
Tell
right?
me it's not true.
The baby's now old, and they wanted to make sure it goes to college.
They wanted to build the family back up. Okay,
Yeah.
they wanted it back.
Weren't just great because they were a product of the times. I wasn't just being blinded by the nostalgia when I'd go back to get a laugh at the old videos. They were a reflection
Question.
of the magic that
I don't know. Does it live up? I don't know.
we felt
Oh
when
no,
we
COVID's
were
back.
making something together.
So we came up with the totally insane idea.
How much did you pay for
what
it?
if we bought Smosh? We didn't know if this was actually possible, but we felt like we had to look into it and see if we could actually do it. So after months of negotiating and deliberating on whether this was a good idea or not,
Kids watch the same crap just with different YouTubers. They're just old. Well, like that's what I meant by like mindset and like not watching it anymore. Because like kids will move on to the new thing, but the current crop of kids will eventually stop being kids and they'll stop being Smosh viewers. Not long after. So that's what.
Unless if the medium grows with them, like how some kid shows they start off as kid shows, but then they become more serious and like they follow the audience they cultured in the beginning.
I
Like, you
think
look at something
Anthony
like
kind of
Adventure Time.
wanted to do that.
Huh?
Kind of seeing how they both went. It felt like Anthony kind of wanted to do that.
Well, I mean, yeah, he started doing more
Stuff, more
Yeah.
influencery
It
stuff.
seemed like Ian kept up with like the baby young person stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like if no, I mean they're not a fucking TV. They're not gonna Adventure Time it where they're like, here's a kid show, and then it becomes progressively for an older age into like and it grows up with They're just gonna continue doing poopy humor.
Yeah, we're just gonna change our entire lives.
yeah, who cares?
That's it.
Today, Anthony and I can say officially that we
Own Smosh.
Yeah.
This shit's
baby.
ours.
It's ours. We bought it.
I got the password.
Yeah, we own Smosh now, and what you can expect on this channel is sketch comedy written by and starring Anthony and myself.
Classic Smosh is back.
And as for the
Oh,
other
shit.
channels, Smosh Pit and Smosh Games, those are staying the same. Same content, same people, no worries about
Can you guys hurry up and finish your stupid
Oh,
video?
she's still
Mom, we're
alive.
almost done.
Yeah.
Holy
That-
crap!
that
You're
voice,
so
like-
old.
Jesus. The voice came back in my mind when I first heard her. Like I was just like, "Oh yeah, that's the mom." She would pop up
Holy
in videos.
shit! She's still alive.
Yeah.
Anthony made the funny two bros chilling in the hot tub meme or hot tub meme.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, apparently he's the one who made. I don't know if you ever saw. It's like an overview video of two guys chilling in a hot tub, and he just says, "Oh look, two guys chilling in a hot tub, like not gay."
Almost done.
Hold on, let me look it up. No, I am not up to date on my memes.
So maybe he has the potential to make funny sketches that for adults. You know?
Two bros chilling in the hot tub, 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Look, if you're not touching each other's toes in the hot tub, it's not a hot tub.
You're not real friends.
Yeah, look, you gotta be okay
Two
with being
bros chilling.
at dick length from each other. All right, yes. All right.
I know, man. Male friendships kind of suck sometimes.
Yeah, it's always like a battle of I'm not gay, but I want to do this thing with you. You know, it's just.
Very not gay, admittedly.
Although
Very
I would
not
probably
Pride
do
Month.
that because, like, when I'm in a hot tub, I want to like stretch my legs and like
That's
spread
true.
myself out
It's a big ass
like a
hot tub.
starfish.
The better question is, where are the bitches? If you're so not gay, look, at
Well,
the end of the
it's
day,
just
you're
two
two
men-
guys in a pool
It's
together.
just two men casually chilling in an early morning by themselves,
Getting
sharing
warm
their
together, huh?
thoughts. Yeah.
Stewing
It is
in
a
the
little
same
odd
soup.
that, like they're at a time of the day where there's literally nobody at the hot tub.
Yeah. 2 pieces of meat in the soup together,
Yeah.
just fucking swirling around, huh?
So much tension. They have to sit.
So tender. The water just makes you tender.
Oh, God.
In the hot tub, 5 feet apart, cause they're not gay.
Yeah. To be fair.
Oh, look, Watsky video. Fucking love the music, but his new album was not that good.
Watsky.
Yeah, top left. So Watsky.
Oh.
He's a singer. Oh, rapper, singer.
Anthony
Artist.
Pandia canceled for offensive joke. Okay, we're gonna go into a hole.
Yeah, look, we can. Well, I think we'd be done with Smosh at this point.
Let's just watch the rest of this.
Okay.
Let's try to let the rest of this play.
Hi, Mom. Well, hi, Anthony. I love your I Spend the Day With series. And Ian, you need to spend a day with someone. Maybe a personal trainer, you emaciated cuck.
God damn it.
Oh.
That's exactly what I was thinking in my head too. And he
What does my mom know what cuck means?
Now get out of here. XQC is live, and I missed his last
Okay,
two
so
streams.
we're on our own now, so
You
if
know-
you want to support us directly, just hit the join button down below and you can become a member.
Thank you guys so much. I can't wait for you
She's
guys to see
so
what we have in store.
old, man.
Please support a free and independent Smosh. For some reason, my dumbass
Let him-
son and his hot friend want to keep doing this forever.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, like, they mentioned XQC, but I think it's a bit like. I wonder if they made this sketch before or after he got his $100 million deal to go on to Kick, the gambling.
What's Kick?
That's the one where Aiden Ross is, the Andrew Tate clone. Yeah,
Man, I can't even lie. I'm not gonna blame him. 100 million cheese.
and it's a non-exclusive deal where he can
a non-exclusive. 100
Yes.
million non. Shit.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I'm just here thinking, like, did they mention XQC before? Like,
But I don't even blame him.
I wonder if they would have changed. But yeah.
If anyone's mad about that, they're
Like,
fucking
I
stupid.
sadly have to use the restroom. I'm sorry, but I do. I am a human being who needs to let out the dragon and piss.
You know why? I'll still judge you silently. Silently, loudly is actually how I'm gonna do it.
Look, I'll be crying in the restroom. All right.
Crying freaking blood and cum, I guess. Yeah, I bet. So, hey, Corn Slop.
Never mind. The restroom is safe. So
Ha! Oh man, I was about to have an uncomfortable talk with Corn Slop about the birds and the bees.
no, because I'm back.
You were safe, Corn Slop.
I mean, I guess I can pee in a bucket, but can't do that on the stream.
Well, I was just gonna say, I don't know if you remember Corn Slop, but I guess we'll just touch on it real quick because it's kind of tangentially related to this. You remember Machinima Happy Hour? It was the back before Machinima went defunct. They were the
Yeah.
they were the cartoon arm of Machinima Productions.
Oh, early 2000, 2010.
You know, can I just say, I said it to him, to my co-host here, but like, it's very frustrating that Machinima basically sat on millions of dollars worth of like animation and like studios and just let it all go to waste.
Yeah, they had a lot of potential.
They had a whole lot of talent. Like, look at the amount of like they were making so many things, and all of it just went out the freaking window because Machinima couldn't handle its shit. And luckily, you know, that's what he talked about earlier with a lot of companies just taking IPs and fucking swallowing them and putting them in the ground forever.
And,
So Machinima is like the best example of this.
yeah.
So many creators just couldn't function anymore after
Yeah.
Machinima died, so it really sucks. All right, moving on.
Orn.
A little bit of YouTube history for you. So, we doing politics. We talked about games,
Yes.
laptops, and YouTube. Now we're on to the real meat
Yeah,
and
now we're on to
potatoes.
the Doom black pill of Paul.
We have a lot of stuff to go through today, so we're going to be here for a moment.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro defends the Trump documents.
Yeah.
You want to preface it, or do you want me to just throw it up on screen?
Sorry, what?
Do you want me to preface this? I mean, do you want to preface it, or do you want me to just throw it up on screen?
I just throw it up on. It's just like a clip. Yeah, Jason Campbell is an amazing.
Wait. I did
Right,
it.
he has a lot of stuff on Twitter. If you want to just see political figures say crazy stuff,
God.
look up Jason S. Campbell on Twitter.
Give me a second.
And he just has a bunch of clips. People say
Seriously?
crazy stuff.
But you're gonna
Yeah,
show
people like
my
Ben
email.
Shapiro,
You're gonna
Jordan
show the
Peterson,
email.
random Republican congressman. Because, sometimes the mask slips.
Is there any evidence that Donald Trump meant to take these documents home to Mar-a-Lago and then hand them off?
You're a mask that's.
So we know that during his presidency that he had his stuff in Mar-a-Lago. We know that he kept him there. He lives there basically.
Listen. Let's be real about this real quick though, because I think people still talk about Ben. Yes, because it's a cotton industry, man. Lots of people watch him.
Yeah.
So lots of people like watching reaction to him. But I was just gonna say, like, let's be real. That's not why Trump's getting indicted. He's getting indicted because he didn't give them back. Biden got in trouble for something very similar. A lot of Republicans will bring this up. But the difference is that when the DOJ went to him and said, give us back the fucking documents, old Joey gave him back. And guess what Trump didn't do? Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean,
allegedly.
He told Nara and like the government officials that he gave back the documents.
And he didn't.
He just...
This would have all went away if he just gave them all back.
Yeah.
Let's
see. How does Ben Shapiro stretch out his neck? Trump.
Off to Vladimir Putin under cover of darkness. You remember, those were all the rumors at the time. The rumors at the time when this broke was that he was selling off our nuclear codes.
Well, I mean,
maybe some people.
I mean, we don't know if he did, but we do know that he showed it to fucking Kid Rock. That's in the documents. He showed it to just a random singer. It's like, oh yeah, like here, you see this stuff. It just shows that he's very cavalier with financial documents. And if you want a money trail, as to say who would have given him the money, Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, did get $2 billion from Saudi Arabia.
Again, we're overcomplicating.
Yeah,
this.
It's like
at the end of the day,
if you needed suspects, there's certainly suspects.
Nothing would have happened to Donald if he just gave it back.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's just with Biden and with Pence, they didn't fight the fucking DOJ. They just they gave it all back.
They gave it back. Okay. Yeah. At the end of the day, Trump's not getting indicted.
You don't have to be
for
found
having the
to
documents.
give his other country's stuff to be trialed under the Espionage Act. You have someone like Edward Snowden who wasn't found to be given stuff to other countries.
So corn slop. That's what I just mentioned. But Biden gets to keep the No, he didn't keep the documents. As far as I know, unless you got proof the otherwise, as far as I know, Biden gave them back. Because Biden had, basically what happened was Biden, from his time as vice president, had a bunch of documents. The DOJ went to his fucking house, went to him, I guess, told him to give them back. So they did investigate him. They did find out.
It's also different severity. It's like you have one person who has it at what is basically a resort where this housekeeper's going in and out versus somebody's own personal home. And that's where people are criticizing Trump, because it's like there's places where, I kept it in the shower, I kept it in this separate home. Oh, in this room, a bunch of documents got flooded.
To be fair to him, though, I think everywhere he's at, the Secret Service
it just makes it a more of a security risk when there's a shit ton of people at the location.
But the reason why I bring it up,
stopped the resort, the club, because the president's there. They still let people come in and out.
Again, I don't. But again, though, like the reason why I think it's important that you make that difference is that he's not getting in trouble for having them.
Yeah,
a lot of presidents have documents. They're the most powerful person.
If you're willing to comply with the court, they're willing to give you an easier sentence. But Trump decided to.
They were willing to give him no sentence. They're going to give him none. So okay, but the reason why I say that we need to make that distinction is because a lot of people point to Biden doing the same thing, but Biden gave them back. So when you say, his crime was he having them, no, he keeping them. Biden didn't keep them. That's why I want to make that distinction very clear.
Could you pull up the chat right here?
Oh yeah.
Monitor.
So that's why Corn Slob. Basically, in short, like he didn't get in trouble for having them. Every president will have documents.
To be fair, is Biden has Biden done crimes and have they done stuff where they should go to prison?
His son definitely.
Yeah, his son definitely.
His son got indicted.
Something you can find for Biden,
or whatever, charged.
And you can also make the argument that even for just holding them, that they should get fined, if not a bit of prison. Like Hillary Clinton
agree. I don't
holding
agree.
it when they shouldn't have.
Well,
I mean, you committed a crime.
I agree.
I'll say the severity of the crime is a lot different.
The reason why I say there's a difference is because when you're the most powerful man on earth, you casually have state secrets being thrown at you. So I wouldn't it's like bringing home work stuff.
Yeah.
So I won't agree with you. I think it's probably a normal thing for all presidents to bring home shit like this, but that's not why you got in trouble.
I still think it's bad though if you don't have the clearance and you don't go through the right channels.
I mean, he's the most powerful man on earth. He is.
Well, I mean, you're talking about back when he was vice president or when he was president?
I mean, even as VP.
Yeah, but still, I don't think it's good to just do it willy nilly. I don't know if it would have been enough for him to go to jail. You can make that argument. But
you got to keep in mind, and I'm not only defending Trump here, I'm defending just the concept in general. These are the most guarded people on earth.
That is true. Wherever they go, they're not going to let a spy 100 feet. You know?
Yeah, you don't think they're vetting every maid.
But then you can make the argument on Mar-a-Lago. It's people coming in and out. There's guests at this golf club. There's housekeepers going in and out. It becomes a lot more expensive to the American tax dollar.
Oh yeah, it is,
and it becomes a higher security risk because it's not this estate. This is this person's singular home. This is essentially a fucking hotel. You're checking every floor,
but it's a rich,
some of which are being sold to Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's any use though in finding the differences there though, because it's you could argue that, but then you could just argue Biden's mansion had a bunch of random people coming in cleaning it.
Yeah, but that's on top of Trump's literal housekeepers coming and cleaning because it's a hotel, but also
those people are probably vetted by the Secret Service.
I would hope.
Yeah, so that's my point. The reason I brought it up is because he didn't get in trouble for having them. I think it's probably just bringing work home for these people. I think it's a bad thing when you don't hand them back. It's like having a work uniform that they want back, but then you don't give it back and they make you pay for it.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like to me personally.
And also, if I remember right, he did say back to Nara and the group saying that he gave the documents back, which that's true. Because there's several routes he could have taken with the subpoena, whether he just flat out ignored it, which would have been his best. If he really just wanted to keep the documents, he should just ignoring it would be better than saying I gave it back or I don't have it.
Yeah, doesn't that just become a lie at that point? In court. Doesn't that didn't he essentially lie to the government?
So that's what I've heard, that he told them saying that I already gave back the documents, I don't have them, which would be really bad because they came in twice and were like, hey.
But you see why I'm making that distinction though, right? Because a lot of people will say Biden had them and such and such, and it's personally, look, if you want to say presidents shouldn't bring home state secrets, I think that's reasonable.
I understand the argument that Donald Trump went the extra mile to be a fucking criminal and
hide them.
And to hide them, yeah.
But what do you think about my take,
some of the stuff getting flooded, which shows that he didn't take good care.
What do you think about my take, though? The fact that this is probably taking work home for these people.
Yeah. I can see you take it home with you, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Yeah, because, that's why I just... That one piece of rhetoric is something I've seen. God damn it, we stretched this freaking Ben piece into wow.
To the Chinese.
We're good at this.
Or some such nonsense. And it turns out that was all crap. The theory that I had from the beginning was correct. That basically Trump was like, I like that document. It's nice.
Just because you like the nuclear code doesn't mean you can take home the nuclear code.
And keep it. You can't keep... He ain't going to prison if anything just brings him attention.
Yeah, so that's the argument, right?
Yeah.
If you look at polls, his approval rate hasn't really gone down, which is really shitty because some people say, oh, this is free attention, free media money for him. It's just like in 2016 where he didn't need to go into Fox News or CNN to get their attention, to get their ad revenue from all these hours, to get all of this free news attention.
Here, let me show you something.
And given that, I think he's still at a 48% rating, which is horrible. He gets indicted twice. This on
here, hold on.
It's not hurting him, is what I'm trying to get at. Is that these indictments aren't really bringing him that down. A 52% lead by Biden is still good, but you would think that after being indicted twice and all of this negative media attention, he would get a slap in the ratings. But
you're not wrong, Corn. You're not wrong, Corn Slob. By the way, here is some proof.
I'll say this though: this attention does not help with bank donors and other donors because they don't tend to like this. But
true, but the whole point of those donors is to buy media space, and if they're running your name,
2016.
Yeah, the number varies anywhere from 2 billion to like 6, but I'm in the camp that it's probably 2.
Man, back CNBC headline: breaking views. Trump's 4.6 billion in free media.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Well documented. So yeah,
which it's crazy to think of America. They don't see having indictments as hurtful. Which brings back an argument when people said that Hillary Clinton has an unfair election because she's being indicted, and people thought that it really hurt her ability to win against Trump because she was being investigated for also holding a bunch of emails. But I wonder if that was true, but things have changed in America, or if it was never true, if America never really cared if you were indicted.
You know what I think is shitty though? When people post like weird videos of like Trump in handcuffs. I don't know, man. It's a little jerk fantasy-ish.
Oh, the AI video. Oh, I think DeSantis. Oh, have you seen the DeSantis AI video of
God damn it! Why do you gotta show me even more, man? My only point is, I feel like a lot of these people are like jerking off to this. It's really weird. She could have.
Yeah, I mean, Hillary should have. Look, Hillary should burn in hell. All right, like, you're not gonna get any sympathy from me. All right, Hillary should be in the.
She stole the election from Bernie.
Yeah, so I mean, she did a lot of legal. I mean, the lawyer going after Hillary mysteriously dies from a random truck. Yeah, like okay, like yeah, she should be burning and fuck all.
Yeah.
Oh, with
you're
this
not gonna
AI
get any
stuff,
sympathy from me
it's
on
also
Hillary.
Crazy. I don't know if you saw. DeSantis made an ad of like Trump and Fauci, I think, kissing or sharing a brotherly embrace.
What?
And yeah, DeSantis, Trump, Fauci. Yeah, no, it's weird seeing people.
I don't think I spelled that right. Oh, I didn't.
Just use Fauci ad. Yeah. So is this one. Ron
This one right here?
Yeah. Oh, this is from another guy. Indisputable with, I can't see the rest of his stuff. Well, it seems like he's with TYT. But yeah, it's just them creating an AI image to stoke the flames.
God damn it. Show us the true.
Well, it's right there. They have the images right there, at least.
This is it?
No, where you were hovering over. Right there. Like,
oh, wait.
Where you're hovering over.
Right here? Oh.
No. To the left.
San Francisco this morning.
There.
No.
There. So you look in and you see these images.
Ooh la la.
Bottom right, bottom middle of, Trump sharing his lips onto Fauci's nice forehead. Yeah, they created these images to...
he left.
Yeah, maybe.
Damn.
I had to go pee. But before that...
God damn.
I know. But it just shows that AI will have a lot of effects.
All right, hold on. Give me a second. Well, since he left, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, if you're gone, say you're gone. I don't know.
We are... Hello, viewer. We are currently in a bit of a break, but give me 1 second. I'll be right up with you. Hey, my co-host went away because he died of AIDS. He fucked a robot infected with the HIV/AIDS/Ebola virus, and well, cool. They left, so I can go back to not existing. saw that you were gone and you left.
Okay.
He
All
was
right,
here
we're
for
back
you.
at it like a crack at it.
He was here for you.
He was here for me, but I wasn't here for him.
Cause you gotta pay. Also, this is Fauci's a very, very. This is gonna be kind of weird. I'm not gonna get clipped for this, and that's fine. Fauci's kind of adorable in the way a grandpa is. Weird. He's a very small, very unassuming man.
Look, I didn't really have grandpas, so I
Fair
guess
enough.
grandpa-less behavior.
Ah, damn. It's just weird because it's like, man, you might have gotten millions of people potentially killed. No, sorry, thousands of people potentially killed.
Look, all I remember is that
But,
when
you know.
the government said, "Hey, Trump, should we give everybody masks?" You know, like months before he did anything, he was like, "Nah. Let's not make the stock market afraid."
To be fair, I heard, though I'm not entirely sure, that apparently China bought up a bunch of masks and then sold it back to us.
The point being is just that he could have done more, and he decided not to for the sake of the market.
Yeah.
Is that he was like, well, we don't want to make everybody afraid. It's like, well, you should be at least prepared, right? Like,
My reading of
prepare
Fauci
for
was
the
always
worst, hope for
like...
the best.
My reading of Fauci was always like... He's doing shit that he shouldn't be doing. Like, he's trying to be PR guy. I know he's the head of the department, so he's naturally going to be PR. But it feels like he had way too much exposure.
Oh, like he was the guy.
He was the guy. I feel like...
And then I also think, like, if you really want to disseminate information, you sort of need that.
You also got people for that, too, though.
You also have what?
You also got people for that, too, though.
Yeah, but, like, people like a figurehead.
Yeah, that's true.
People like when they hear from one guy.
No, I agree with you.
You know, I just wondered before, like, is streaming on Kick worth it where all the Aiden Ross people are?
No,
People are moving to Kick.
You want to? No, I'm good.
Co-stream it. Double.
No.
Oh, okay. 90-10 split.
Nope. Amazon says Amazon
Yeah.
drivers are just drivers delivering for Amazon.
So delivering service in general is a messed up gig. All right, and for Amazon, people will talk about how, well, it's good paying relatively to other positions, and you don't use your own car. You're an Amazon fan, right? You've all heard them reverse with a big E noise. You know, just it's annoying. You know, these people, they deliver your stuff every day by day. You pay extra to get it every day delivery on the day you press buy.
You can buy shit on a lark.
Yeah, and you got to think these people are probably overworked if you're literally getting the product you wanted an hour ago in 2 hours. You know
What sucks about Amazon is that, in a weird messed up sense, they are like both the best and worst part of globalism at the same exact
it's
time.
like you have the whole world at your fingertips, but also you've made the world bend.
Well, could you imagine the like egalitarian usages for this kind of delivery infrastructure?
It would be amazing.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's like we're killing people.
Yeah. Also, like, hey, Amazon driver, you should piss in a bucket or shit in a bucket and piss in a bottle. And
why are you pissing? Why are you pissing in a bottle?
Yeah.
Oh, because some asshole wanted to order his $10 Amazon basic
always
keyboard.
be surveilled.
No. But hold on. Think about that. Instead of delivering medicine, like you have to pee in a bucket because you got to deliver medicine somewhere, right? No. You're delivering someone's Amazon basic keyboard.
Yep.
Delivering tens.
It's not even like an important thing, like an EMT working extra hours because they're life saving. Yeah, no, you're delivering somebody's
bullshit.
Yeah, somebody's random bullshit, but they got to get it within the day or next morning delivery.
Hello, viewer. We're just talking about how Amazon has the delivery infrastructure to help millions of people.
Now, at least one group is trying to go onto a strike. They're trying to get
of that infrastructure being used to help save people, it's used to deliver keyboards. And now Amazon says that they actually don't work for Amazon.
Yeah, so there's a reason why Amazon is saying that they're just drivers living for Amazon, because this infrastructure of drivers is split. There might be some that actually work for Amazon, but a lot of them are separating these things called DSPs, where it's just like many companies, many businesses where they hire drivers that go into Amazon trucks, they go to Amazon warehouses and do it. So it's like you're a contracted or you're a contractor for another contracted business that contracts with Amazon. So technically, you're not an Amazon driver. You're just a delivery driver for Amazon.
I guess the big question is, it's
stupid semantic difference. But at the end of the day, you're what seems to be the majority of drivers for Amazon. Without them, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, this just seems like a very convenient way of off-placing cost.
Yeah, it separates themselves from the tragedies that may happen to drivers. They don't have to eat the cost or the PR disaster that comes from drivers, because technically they weren't working for them. They're working for, United Driving.
I just wonder how close the relationship is between these two companies. I just wonder how close the relationship is between these two companies.
When they explained to the people that grouped up with Teamsters, with a union, they said like, oh, well, you're not supposed to come to us asking for a contract. You have to go to your DSP, your company. We contract with the DSP, not with you.
It's like a shittier version of a union.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're trying to team up with an actual union, but it's just...
Well, it's a corporation, right? That's representing them to another corporation.
Well, they said they have to go to the corporation they're hired with.
Yeah.
Which is really dumb. It's like, at the end of the day, you're just making a little subsidiary, which...
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah. Like, is this just like a subsidiary? Like, are the investments the same?
It's like they contract... Like, you know how Amazon would try to hire, like, US, like the UPS and other groups like FedEx to help deliver? They no longer really do... I mean, they could, but... Now they go through basically mini UPSs.
I kind of wish I looked more into Amazon in the future, because Google's owned by a big company. I think it's like Alphabet or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like they invest into a bunch of social media stuff that goes along with YouTube as a product.
Yeah.
Like, so I just wonder if that's similar here. I wonder if it's like the same investing groups.
It could be, or it could be just like local logistic companies. They're like, hey, we have people that are willing to drive.
That would make it more innocent, though.
It would make it, look, I am playing devil's advocate for the devil himself, Jeff Bezos, I'll play.
Is this still about Ben? No.
No,
We're moving on to...
We're talking about Jeff Bezos, the mega devil himself, the one who made you piss in a bottle and shit in a bucket as an Amazon driver.
The one who would rather you deliver keyboards than your own child. No? Okay.
God, I can't imagine. It's like, I couldn't make it to my wife's pregnancy. I was out delivering eyelashes for people on Amazon.
Nazis protesting Disney.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
I was there anything that you want in specific?
I mean, if you got anything you want covered, bring it up.
Yeah.
We love interacting, and we wouldn't mind hearing your suggestions.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, you don't got to. We just like having you here. Don't feel obligated either. But anyways, what the hell is this about?
So,
Nazi protesting Disneyland?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of people who started protesting outside of Disneyland with Nazi flags and DeSantis flags.
Fucking psychopaths.
Yeah, I think it's just pretty interesting,
Unhinged.
People will say the Democrats were the party of slavery, but who do the Nazi side with? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It is funny
There's
how
a
that
reason
keeps
why
happening.
Nazi flags are there alongside DeSantis and not Barack Obama. Okay,
You mean Hussein?
Yeah, Barack Hussein. Yeah.
Mine Hussein. Hussein.
Not this liberal crap. I mean, what do you have? I mean, is there something you wanted to go over that's conservative? Look, I hate corrupt Democrats.
I think. Oh, it's like 10 people. Okay,
yeah, no,
you know what?
It was barely a crowd.
All right. To be fair to you, corn slob, I've been to little leftist protests here in California that are like the same size. It's like fucking 20 people on a quarter.
And bear with me, corn slob. Do you think a KK, let's say like let's bring a Confederate member to modern day politics? Do you think he's gonna vote for Barack Obama? I don't think so. I feel like the complexion's not there.
Yeah, but it's also like 5 dudes on a corner.
Yeah, no, this is barely any. This is literally
fits Disney perfectly.
The Nazi stuff. I mean, I know Walt Disney.
I'm confused. I'm easily confused. God damn, man, liberal brain rot.
I'm not sure how it fits. I mean, they have a bunch of racist stuff in the past.
What, 10 people standing out front?
Yeah. I mean, they follow the will of the money. So if the majority of people in America were pro-Nazis, they'd probably make a bunch of Nazi propaganda.
Yeah, to be fair.
They're literally a tool that follows the wallet. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they have morals.
Yeah, it's like, could you imagine, though? Could you imagine Nazi Mickey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he did nothing wrong.
It's 10 million people. Really? Oh, God. Kanye in the back. Just making music.
Kanye just...
But no, he likes Jews now because of fucking 21 Jump Street.
That's great. I think that's great character development. You talk shit, but I think that's like a movie. That's like he learned the error of his ways and stopped hating minorities.
Mm-hmm. And why do you hate liberals? Or do you not? I mean, to be fair, I also hate a good amount of liberals.
I hate liberals too.
So, I mean, I can understand the hate, but it seems like you might hate liberals a lot. So
yeah, but depending on what side of the aisle you're on, you might hate us more. You might like us more. Because, like, straight up, man, I don't know about... I won't speak for my friend here, but I am very far left. Does that mean I want you in jail for hate speech? No. I just want everybody to have health care as, like, a human right.
You know what I want?
What?
Is what's on the next article, which is AI leading the church sermon.
Also, I want the government to give everybody one coupon to go to a sex brothel. Also, I want sex brothels to be legal. So you can go to them, and the government pays for it.
No degradation of morality.
Very big time. Breakdown of the family structure. We can't have incels if every incel got a goddamn coupon.
Yeah.
Listen. You can't force the girl. I'm not for that. The coupon just gets you in for free. The government will pay the tab. You still gotta convince one of the girls to go with you. So you still gotta shower. You still gotta not smell like asshole and cheese.
Condomless hookers, screaming from the rooftop.
Well, listen, like I said, the government pay. All you gotta do is convince one of them that you're just not gonna kill her.
Yeah.
That's really all you gotta do. I'm pretty sure they fucked worse than you. So frankly, all you gotta do is like.
Or you can let like a bouncer be in the room with you, and then you gotta be the bull, and he's the cuck. You know.
Yeah, well, no, I don't. No. I don't think the girl would want to do like. Imagine the guy comes up, Cheeto dusts.
I mean,
ass
to her,
wet.
it's work. It's like I don't see why she would have. I mean, unless she
if he's
likes
dirty.
to be intimate. Oh, okay. Like if you literally have dick cheese, then yeah, like.
That's what I meant. Like you literally, all you have to do is put in the very base. Like you don't even have to really convince her, because it's like you're not going to convince her. You're not going to murder her.
Yeah.
That's really about it. You know.
Sex work is work. Yes.
It is work, and it really sucks, but that's why they need protection. Yeah. Let me guess. The government should also give you a $25 age and 10 wives. I think you're lacking ambitious, man. I think they need a $100 wage and a crackpot myth. I already sound like I'm
my
on
argument
that.
is
Crack
that
pipes.
If some of those people got laid, they probably wouldn't have done a shooting. All right.
Ooh.
I'm just saying, man.
I defend government. Germany does it, and Germany's doing great. So, also, I do think the government should give you a higher wage, but it needs to be dependent on where you live.
If the minimum wage followed inflation, it would be at around like 18-20, if not more.
That is actually true. If it followed you're not far off. If it followed the actual rate of inflation, it would be $20.
Which is, and it's not like your wage typically follows inflation. Let's say you work at like a Barnes and Noble, you get paid $10 an hour, and every year everything goes up 5%. Your wage didn't go up 5%, but the books on the shelves went up 5%.
Yeah, no,
they make 5% more in everything.
That statistic
but
comes
you
from
don't make 5% more in everything.
Yeah, that statistic's based on the collective prices, profits, and wages of the top earners.
Yeah.
So
like if you're working at somewhere and they're charging 5% more year by year, why shouldn't you be at least paid 2% more, 3% more?
In short, America is far more productive.
After all, they're charging 5% more because they're paying the workers.
Well, I was just going to say, in short,
like,
America is far more productive than it was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But you do not feel any of that.
Yeah, that's also true.
The minimum wage.
When computers came in, it's not like you got more money because of it.
Yeah. The economy is, well, my only point is GDP went like really high.
Yeah.
Really high, but like the average person has not felt that at all.
Yeah.
So maybe except in like the cheap shit that we buy from Walmart. But even then, like they're alternative goods.
You can argue with TVs and luxury items like monitors, speakers, headphones, computers. Those things became cheaper, but everyday commodity, like everyday foods items, like meat per pound, eggs, you see the price of that. Right. They didn't go.
Insurance, rent, things like that. They all yeah. So yeah, sorry, Coinslob, long detergent, but yeah, actually, it should be at least $20.
Yeah.
If the economy like made sense, but whatever. We live in fuck world, so that's what we get. AI church service?
Yeah, so there was a church service led by ChatGPT where they created and made a service.
I don't like this world we're going to.
Yeah, people will say AI, it's far away, like it's here, but not really.
How are
We're touching the tip of it, but the whole thing isn't there.
How are religious people not more freaked out by this?
Well, the thing is, to give the church service, you're repeating the lines, you're giving certain, and you're saying some nice talking points about how you should live by God and remember to attend church every week.
Oh, he made a comment. Well, if poor people didn't buy the newest iPhone, they can at least pay their child support and feed their kids. So, well, if poor people didn't buy the newest iPhone. Well, see, that's the thing right there, though, is that poor people are the most economically active group. When you give them money, it's going to be spent versus other groups that will tend to save money. And get this.
Well, child support costs more than an iPhone. I'll say that.
And I was gonna say, here's a basic principle of economies. It's I think they call it I just learned it. It's called the thrifting effect, something like that. Basically, if you give money to people who only save, the economy kind of goes into a recession. You want people to spend.
Yeah.
You just want them to spend in a way that's sustainable.
I don't think that they should get the latest iPhone. But let's say they spend $1,000. You pay around $1,000 a month for child support. That's 1 month out of 12. They'd have to buy 12 iPhones for them to not be able to pay child support.
Yeah.
Like the math doesn't add up. It's like 1,000 versus 12,000.
And also, man, I hate to be an asshole about it, but if that person has child support and is like they're buying iPhones instead of feeding their kids,
then they're probably a bad person.
Yeah, they're kind of
they're prioritizing an iPhone over their kids. But the thing is, buying one iPhone doesn't mean you had enough to pay 12 months of child support.
Yeah,
that's a much higher caliber of money.
Yeah, because I was thinking more. I'm thinking more in the sense of just like general quality of living, because like, yeah, you're right. iPhones aren't necessary to life, but I would defend that purchase in saying that the poorest people are the most economically active. You want them to be economically active. And arguably giving them money is like actually really smart. So having them have money is very smart to do, just from an economic perspective. There you go. There's your libertarian fucking black-hearted economic argument for giving people higher minimum wages. Kind of bad considering they make terrible spending choices, scams, debt, etc. They take advantage of low-income people who have drug addiction. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, I mean, if you look at stuff like weed, they do it at the same amount, if not the same. I look like if you just want to talk about like spending choices, the difference between a poor person and a rich person is that a rich person can mess up a lot more than a poor person can. Like if you're growing up and you mess up as a poor person, there's no backdrop you have to save you. You don't have daddy's silver spoon to carry you through life and save you whenever you do a fuck up. Like, if you're a poor person and you drive down the street and somebody smacks you with their Ford F-150, you're fucked auto-wise because your car's gone. You don't have the money for it. Daddy can't buy you one. You're fucked medical-wise because now you're stuck with medical debt for 10 years plus because you don't have the money to afford a $30,000 leg cast.
There's a comment he made about kind of bad considering they make terrible spending choices, scams, debt, etc. They take advantage of low-income people who have drug addiction. So, I would even say on a level, because I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to, but I will say that a common thing that's brought up, like why you shouldn't give poor people money because they make bad choices. They often talk about the checks, the checks that were given out during the pandemic. those were far more like, I don't know if you saw it on economical graphs, but when that check went out, the economy went up for a very brief amount of time. So it's like, while you're not wrong that the poor people make bad choices, it's like, well, first off, I don't completely agree that you make those kinds of choices, because most people are going to buy the things they need first. And, you know, it's like, you're talking about like bad choices, scams, debt, etc. Like, what's a bad spending choice?
I mean, there's studies that show that people take out credit to buy groceries, which is a fuck situation, because if you don't buy groceries, you starve. So you're sort of forced in a situation where you have to take on debt. Some people take on debt so they can have stuff like fridges. I mean, you can literally take out credit on a fridge because you want people to have food that doesn't perish within the next 3 days. You know, within the end of the day, really, if you buy meat.
I guess I realize what I was trying to say. Basically, my point is that the terrible spending choices that poor people tend to make, as you say, it doesn't really get to the point of like, should they still make more money? And the answer is like, they should, because even if you're right, they still make bad choices. It's very beneficial to the economy as a whole, and very beneficial to just everybody in general.
And there's a point to be made that the government should go after scams more. I mean, people get scammed all the time. If you scam a rich person, you're going to jail for a long time. You know, Bernie Madoff type shit. You're gonna be gone. But if you scam poor people, I mean, what you call it a day. You know, in 2008 financial crisis, you can see that they targeted poor people at a much higher rate. They said, "Oh, you're poor. We'll go after you because you don't have the know-how to go after it." You can even see it amongst racial groups. With white people, they targeted rich people less, but poor people more. With black people, they also did the same thing. But it's not like they got their money back on their home loans.
Yeah, you know? I guess that's my only point. Yeah, like, overall, it's beneficial that people are making more money because they're paying for more stuff. Just that's the economic perspective. If you want the socialist perspective, which is the one I hold, people making more money simply means they have more control of their life decisions. They can send their kids to better schools. Actually, if they make more money, the schools can collect more taxes, which means that they can have better qualities of education, which means that you can slowly break the cycle of poverty, low education, drug abuse, and all the other things that affect poor people, right? Because drug addiction, it does affect rich people, but it certainly don't hold them back. You notice that shit? You notice how a lot of them are on cocaine, painkillers, but like, a lot of them are still very successful. Meth is very common in the suburbs. Doesn't stop them. That's my point. So it's, you know, it's about having the resources to do all of it, and giving them more money will help enable that to be possible. Anyway, let me guess. The government should give out free checks when people take advantage of the benefits? No. Fraud's very low on, I believe it was SSI. Fraud is very low. It's 1%. And even with that, actually, I was just going to say, like, there should just be certain benefits that everybody should have.
Look, if you're a company taking advantage, like the PPP loans during COVID, go after them. Like the universities, like companies, go after. If you took advantage, find them, send them to jail, whatever. Same thing if you're like a normal American who's taking advantage of a welfare state or anything like that, then they should also be sought after by the law. But if you need it, if you deserve it, yada yada.
Listen, the reason why we're so concerned about people taking advantage of benefits is because they're means tested, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an easy example, because we're going to talk about it later. Free meals. Free meals are a national program that's being tested based on income, which means that if you are literally $2 or whatever the fuck it is above the income level, your family, shit out of luck, you just don't eat unless your family can give you the food, right? I'm of the mindset that even if the kid's rich, even if the kid's poor, give them food.
I'm talking specifically.
Keep the option open.
In some states, they were saying, "Oh, if like kids should just have free lunch at schools," which some people are angry at, or some Republicans are repealing that. You know, you go at it like there's different ways to tackle on giving people financial help.
But it shouldn't be means tested, because as a general rule, means testing just creates like this weird middle no man's land.
I mean, for something
where you're
like
just deeper in
giving
poverty.
kids food, for something like giving kids food at school, especially, just why go through all the paperwork and documents? If the kid's hungry, feed the kid. You know, why should the father or the parent, you know, be related to the kid going hungry? Yeah, and even then, if you're a rich kid, chances are you're probably not eating the lunch from the school. Chances are your family got you a lunch. All right, like if you're really rich enough to not,
if you're that rich, you're not even there.
Yeah,
like, who
if
the
you're
fuck
that
are we
rich, you
kidding?
got Chick-fil-A. All right, you got.
Well, no,
something
like
else.
you're not at that school.
Yeah, that's another thing. You're probably not even at that school.
You're at some charter school, man, eating like homemade shit, like whatever. We got another one. They need to have better food options. Michelle made it crappy regardless if it's accessible. They're not going to eat it.
Yeah, Michelle Obama,
Government cheese.
Michelle Obama destroyed the food system. Unification.
You know what I didn't discover till I was a little older? Government bread. Because government bread is fun, because government bread has no labels, no nutrient information, no expiration dates. That shit's just a plastic bag with bread inside of it. It's great. It's like government cheese, you know? You don't know where it comes from, but it looks like cheese.
It's gross.
You could fucking form it.
You
could form it and bounce it off the wall like it's fucking gum, but like it's not gum, sorry, like it's rubber, but you know, government cheese, government bread. Also, yeah, Michelle did ruin it. It fucking sucked, but you know, that's how it would be. That's how it be sometimes.
Only the chicken sandwiches.
I'd argue Arnold also kind of helped ruin it too, with all the fitness shit he did in our state.
California specific.
Yeah, California specific. Arnold was a big fitness person. Yeah. So I would bet money on him probably contributing to that. Arnold, don't eat the cupcake. You're getting fat.
Arnold making every student. Oh, I mean, we can skip that one.
Making every student a
warrior.
warrior.
Go into that article.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
NYPD sued for cops and families using get out of jail free cards.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know what this is.
Yeah. So there's here's another article from The Guardian.
Is this the union card
thing?
I know about this. Okay, I've heard about this. Here, let me preface it then. Actually, no, you preface it. I'll preface because my article's
Oh yeah, so here's an article from The Guardian talking about how a traffic cop sues city over get out of jail free cards for NYPD friends and family, and it's basically an I'm above the law card, and this was used for traffic infractions, right? And like simple stuff, but basically these cops and cop families, they were given these cards saying basically, hey, you don't get to fine me, I'm above the law. Like it, I don't know how to put it in simpler terms. Basically, you can't do anything to me. I don't know how.
So basically, I'll give you an example of the way I saw it. Was the way I've had it explained to me was that, for example, if you do like a light, so you can't kill somebody and be like, oh, I'm off Scot-free. No. But if you run a red light, no one else is there.
Sign.
They might just show them the card and they might just let you go.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, you're one of us, right? You're part of the blue line, and it's like, okay, go on through.
You know, on some level, half. You know, I'm gonna have a really bad take on this. On half a level, my first instinct at first was like, whatever. I mean, like, I'm for cops being more lenient. Admittedly, I'd want them to just be more lenient in general, but anything helps, I guess. But
I don't think this helps because it's literally just for their own group.
If there's, all we need to do is get one activist in there, get a copy, and then fucking just pass them out to the fucking masses. Just make a whole, get a piece of paper with PD initial sign. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Just get like a card and like print like 80 of the bitches. Just pass them out to your friends. Sell them, make money.
Blue line,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, just take advantage of it. Hey, if power, don't tell the opposition when they're fucking up.
Yeah. Well, this traffic cop did not care though, and that's where this case comes from. Is that he saw these people and he's like, "The fuck? What do you mean? They gave out my like free law break card, you know?" Like,
Matthew Bianchi claims superiors retaliated against him for writing tickets for people holding corrupt.
So he says that he was penalized for going after these corrupt people, which symbolizes the American police system pretty well.
Well, listen, like, obviously I agree. He did the right thing.
Yeah.
And while it's good that he tried, this just shows I don't think reform is ever going to come from within.
You probably have to have the federal government come in and be like, hey, what are you
doing? You kind of have to impose it upon them. Mm-hmm. So, like, and that's true not just of the police. That's basically true of, like,
he had to literally create a criminal case against them. Mm-hmm. Or a civil case. I'm not sure if it's criminal or civil. But
I mean, like, all institutions, though, have that quality where it's like we're always going to empower ourselves for the most part if we can, because they view, especially in the government, it's like a competition between the various departments, whatever. But it is bad. Also, man, this union affiliation shit is kind of fucked, though, because it's like, it makes you guys look even more like, what's the word? Like, disconnected. What's this? LOL, celebrities do it, like, all the time. He's just mad he didn't get one. Well. See,
celebrities getting by because of celebrities is also dumb.
You know what would have taught them a real lesson? Straight up.
Unless you're Wesley Snipes and you get fucked up.
Okay, come on, though. You know what would have been even better? If, like I said, they print them out and they just tape them on every goddamn pole in
But
New
then
York.
It would no longer work. It's like, we can't all get out of jail.
Like, every time they update
pay
one.
The private fees.
Someone has to pay the city freaking ticket fees. Oh, next one?
You pull up the chat right here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you gotta buy off the Watchmen, right? Yeah, you gotta...
Money. Anyway. Look, get that money. So, listen, yeah, I mean, this is just proof that it won't come from within.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, technically,
no,
it did come with. I mean, a cop went up and was like, "Hey, these people are corrupt," and now the court system is gonna go after. Who knows? Maybe the court system will fail. We don't know what's coming out of this.
Yes, because this won't have an effect on other cops reading this.
Yeah.
All right. Yay! On to my articles. We're gonna listen, guys. We're very leftist, like we talked about earlier, but we're gonna hear from the other side. There's a reporter. I'm a reporter. I graduated not too long ago. I'm a certified minted reporter. I found this other reporter named, I think, John Stossel, if I remember correctly, talking about how socialism kills the environment. And I'm a hardened socialist. Learned a lot about ecological activism, indigenous rights, and all that other all the other stuff that's connected to it. So let's see if he's right. Let's see if my ideology secretly makes the world evil.
Ideology.
And if it is, damn, guess we gotta switch sides. It's gotta be fucking conservatives now. So, let's see. Socialism destroys the environment.
All right, let's just give it to. Tell me about how he removed it.
He removed it?
What?
Whoa!
Damn. Oh, dang, look, Donald Glover on the Eric Andre show. Holy shit.
Here's what's on.
Damn.
He actually got rid of it.
Damn, our video's taken from the crib, alright? You took it down.
Do you want to watch a different one? Because there's a few.
Well, go up a little bit. It says, not all students are woke socialists.
Yeah, let's watch that one. Just give me 1 second. I know, I saw it. I'm just gonna... Yeah. I'm just in disbelief.
I mean, it's gotta be interesting.
I'm just frankly in disbelief by the fact he actually got rid of it.
I'm surprised he talked to Ron DeSantis and he won't go on the fucking Megyn Kelly show. You'll talk to this dude.
He legitimately... Hold on. I'm gonna look. Yeah. I'm gonna look for re-upload.
I wonder why would he delete his video?
Oh, not education. I'm fucking stupid.
Kills the
environment. Yeah. I'm actually.
Yeah. And if I'm right, hello, other viewer.
Hello, other viewer. We're gonna turn into Republicans today. That's what's happening. So stick around. We're learning.
The conversion happens. Yeah, just
exactly.
I don't know.
Where was it? Yeah. See, not all students are woke socialists.
Oh boy.
Boy.
Burn my brain. What? Oh, okay.
I've been going to therapy. It really
I was about to say, like, did he just mass delete anti-gun?
Sorry.
Us? We? No. I'm very pro gun.
We can pull up chat right here.
Oh yeah, because you can't.
Yeah.
How about I just leave this here?
Okay.
Anti-gun. No, I'm pro-gun.
For the most part, I'm pro-gun. I mean, I don't think you should be able to have like a nuclear warhead, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as
you want body arm. Oh, sorry.
You know, go through the right steps and aren't seen to be a mass shoot. Like, you know, if we go through the mass shooter checklist and you fit the psych eval for a mass shooter, you probably shouldn't have a gun. But aside from that, I think you should have a gun. I like guns.
I like guns too.
I like being able to shoot guns. I like going out to a range.
We've shot several guns.
Yeah.
We shot, I believe, a Mossberg. We shot, I forgot the exact shotgun, but it's the one that everybody has.
Yeah.
The copy of the Remington 870. And we shot a 45, the COD zombie gun. We shot the Beretta, the cop gun.
It was a Glock.
The
Glock 21.
The glorious Glock.
Yeah.
I actually love
45mm Glock.
I'm a boomer. I really liked the 45. I'm sorry.
I shot a 9mm
every
Glock.
white guy. I'm sorry.
I shot
every white guy ever.
Commie California M4.
Oh god, the M4 sucks so much ass. Our M4s really suck in the state.
Yeah, California really guts the M4 to the point where they look like they just look emaciated. You know, they don't look nice.
Here, give me a second. I'll show you guys what we have to deal with in our shit state.
I don't remember. Look, we're trying to pull up
it's actually not showing it. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Google doesn't know how it looks.
Oh, here it is. Perfect.
Yeah, boy.
So, that right there is to stop you from, because most guns have a
pistol grip
here.
Yeah, and the way they get around the pistol grip is by putting
a fucking fin.
Yeah.
So it's more like an old. So
yeah,
just
like
just for the YouTube gods, this is an airsoft gun, which it is actually an airsoft gun. Most guns have a shit. I can't actually see myself.
Least noticeable Fed.
I
wish I had Fed money.
They have pistol grips.
Wow, fuck.
So you can grip it like this. That fin essentially makes it to where you gotta grip it like that, and it's really stupid. If you ever shot an actual gun, an actual grip, fucking weird, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Really bad. But or there's the other option that's much better. If you least noticeable Fed. I know. Thank you. Anyway, the other option, if you don't want the stupid fucking fin, is they don't have it here. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, if you want to load an M4, you have to break the gun in half if you don't want the stupid grip.
It's really dumb.
Yeah, you got to break the whole gun in half to load a mag. That's the other option.
What was it, Alabama or Mississippi, that had a county that was like, we're not listening to the ATF anymore.
Thank you.
Just like, well, okay.
Thank you, AT. Thank you, random town in the fucking middle of nowhere. Hold on. It's kind of like when you have it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably too niche.
Yeah, M4.
Yeah.
It kind of. I was hoping. I don't think I'm saying it right, but yeah, like if you ever disassembled an M4 and had the part like open but still connected, it's like that basically. I have an MSoft M4 because again California, but I'm not gonna go get it and fucking shit. That's too much work. But yeah, if you ever disassembled your M4, broke it in half, it's like that basically. Least noticeable Fed. God, I wish. You know how much I love it if the CIA actually gave us money for shit?
COINTELPRO.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, here. I'll give you proof that I'm not a Fed because I'll tell you basically what the Feds do. COINTELPRO was where they pay people that look like me to convince people, maybe not like you, to go blow up the White House. And I'm going to tell you, don't do that. Go vote in your local election and advocate locally and be a pain in the ass to your local politician.
Part of
That's actually what they don't want you to do. That's the real Fed shit right there. They shoot all the local activists. Okay.
This we go on to the article.
All right.
I don't even remember what article it was.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, we started talking about guns.
Yeah, rips to the
10
third
minutes.
viewer
My
that
eyes
came in
glazed
and
over.
left.
I really like guns, viewer. I want you to know that. That's why it really sucks that I live in the state that I live in.
The third viewer is probably like, what the fuck?
Hi, third viewer. We're not doing.
No,
He already gone.
They got scared at the gun.
Fair enough. We scared off.
Oh yeah, not all.
Oh look, it's a very nice looking Asian lady wearing a hat. Cowboy hat. She's an adventurer.
But that's how you get the crazy radicals.
But she's gone.
By showing guns. I mean, if having a gun makes you a crazy radical, then boy, all America's crazy.
Listen, my friend.
300+ million guns. Oh.
If you talk to leftists, and I mean like actual leftists that understand the situation, no, none of them advocate for violence because, let's just be real, in the United States, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah. I like voting.
I like voting as well. I don't believe in imposing force. And also, unironically, I actually have faith in democracy. If you look at countries with more voters like actually voting, basically.
Yeah, voter turnout.
Thank you. Turnout. Where you look at countries with turnout, they generally have better outcomes and they generally have better like systems and they like their government more. So I have a genuine belief that democracy can carry us most of the way there. My only fear is that if democracy carries us 90% of the way to socialism, maybe you'll get a conservative backlash, and that will hopefully not become violent. But that's really the only thing. If you really want me to be honest about how I think about it, but that shit can't happen under bourgeois democracy. But you ain't undoing bourgeois democracy with armed struggle. That's just not a winning
part of
formula.
the bourgeois.
No, the bourgeois have the resources to destroy you, so it's just not a winning strategy.
What is this man, John Stossel?
John Stossel is a reporter. I think he is a conservative reporter
with a turtleneck.
The turtleneck, very respectable.
Easy government imposes a million rules, and Americans seem to want more.
The motion.
I love me my rules.
You'd be surprised.
Give me rules, daddy.
They do want more.
Okay.
So this is John Stossel. Not all students are woke socialists.
We are learning today. We are woke socialists, I'm afraid. So,
sadly,
fuck.
As college-educated people, we have fallen into the rabbit hole of socialism.
We were radicalized, indoctrinatorized, and sodomized. I mean,
oh well, Pride Month.
People say they want more government, and politicians are happy to deliver.
We are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
Thomas Jefferson said the natural progress for things is for liberty to yield and government to gain. That's what's happening.
Natural gas hookups
that is
will
true.
be
And sometimes it's alongside company interests. You look at banana republics where companies are like, hey, Mr. President, can you give us military aid to take over South American interests? And they're like, yeah.
But the tricky part about that is that while the immediate reaction would be you want less government, in a world where there's less regulation and less government, there's also less barriers for corporations to fuck us over. Looting stuff, overpricing stuff. Jesus Christ. Just fucking...
Just hitting...
Just fucking it all up
Pepsi
today,
cans.
huh? Anyway. Like... It's not a good thing for there to be less government, but at the same time, like, you want that government to be representative.
It depends on what the government is. Is it giving kids free lunches on their way to school, or is it committing atrocities, which would be not good? Yeah, that would be bad government.
banned.
Minimum wage is set to increase this year.
New rent control measures.
It's very easy to lose freedom. It's very easy for politicians to legislate freedom away, but it's incredibly hard to get back.
This 22-year-old understands the importance of freedom better than politicians and the media. These new rules they're passing.
Does he ask what does she think freedom is?
They're meant to keep us safe.
How much of our lives are we willing to give up for safety?
Kristen Tokarev is one of the winners of our Stossel in the Classroom video contest.
I wanted to show us a brief clip.
Stossel in the Classroom is my charity that provides free market videos for teachers to play in class. It leads some students to...
Yeah,
he's shown in classrooms. That's why I brought him up.
Jesus Christ.
He's shown in.
They're like, oh, these liberal classrooms. Man, these teachers are fucking old. It's not surprising me they're showing a conservative video on YouTube in the classroom.
Yeah, that's why I brought him up.
Change their minds about things like government welfare.
Its intentions are good, but the people that accept welfare, over time they lose the incentive to work.
It often takes video.
That's not true, by the way. UBI has been tested in several countries and in several states, and it doesn't stop people from working. Though apparently in economics, unemployment does actually stop people from working. Or, if anything, at the very least, it lengthens cyclical unemployment. Like, because people will be more picky about job. Basically, in short, they'll be less desperate.
Yeah, it's like, oh, instead of picking up a job in McDonald's, they'll wait till they can pick up an actual, like...
Decent job,
yeah.
Yeah. So, the economists are right, but I feel like a part of... the way they explain
it's like
it
a bit of a
feels like
catch-22, because you stop getting unemployment if you pick up the McDonald's job, but you can't live with your McDonald's job.
Can I just say I hate the way economics explains things, though? Because they talk a lot about personal choice of individuals, but then it's like, oh, the reason why people don't go back to work, getting unemployment is because
they try to wait for a job that can actually support them.
No, it's because it's lengthening cyclical unemployment. Just so sanitized. It's weird. Like, when it comes to worker choices, economics are very sanitized. But when it comes to, like, interests of, like, CEOs and investors and governments even, it's very emphasized. Like, those people have agency.
Yeah. But
workers are, like, just resource. It's weird. It's very weird to hear it explained. But yeah, like, it's, I don't know. Leftist learns economics and learns that it's fucked.
Oh, John Stossel.
Videos to drive the point home.
They really opened up my mind to think differently.
It changed the way that I viewed the world.
Was watching.
Man, they say a whole lot of nothing. You know that? I'm sorry. I think I realized why I rant. They say nothing. They've talked about how much they love freedom. Freedom. What the fuck does freedom mean?
Yeah.
Lay it out for us college students.
So are you also for the freedom of your Fourth Amendment against terrorism? I mean, like a lot of lefties and especially right-wingers agreed to let go of your Fourth Amendment to stop terrorism. You have no privacy when it comes to anything that has to do with fighting the war on terror.
This is an argument.
We lost it after 9/11.
You know what? I hate to say it. This is an argument for philosophy class, because at least in philosophy or critical thinking, they'll teach you the differences between positive and negative freedom.
Yeah.
So at least, like, they broaden your scope of freedom.
So you have the freedom to buy the cancer medication, but you don't have the ability to because it's like $30,000.
If the economists are so smart, why don't they fix the economy then? Because economists don't agree on shit, and that's kind of my point. Is that a lot of the times the way they sanitize language is that there's weird holes in their analysis. It's like, and the way they put it is there's normative, and then there's there's normative, and then there's like determinative or something like. Basically, there are statements of fact and then statements of prescription. And most economists actually do agree on statements of prescription. Like if you tell them, hey, unemployment benefits will lengthen unemployment, they will all agree on that being true. But then they disagree on whether that is a good or bad thing and whether or not they should do it. Some will think, well, that's good because they should have the ability to choose better jobs and be more productive. Some will say no, because the government is wasting resources trying to pay these people to do nothing, essentially. So it's not that they don't agree, it's that they do. They just don't know what to do with it, with the information. which is why I bring up the analysis. It seems like they have blinders in some areas. I feel like, unironically, I feel like sociology would help a lot, and even political science would actually help a lot in economy, as like a cross discipline type of exercise. Anyway, enough academic jargon.
Watching my videos
Freedom
in class more fun than listening to a professor lecture?
It's always more engaging.
You're the age of a professor, you old crank. Sorry, I gotta stop. I gotta let him talk.
Yeah, it's not like listening to like a crash course video, or at least back then they were much younger.
Yeah, it's like in those, Hank Green is like dancing around the screen, and there's graphics and shit. In this, it's just some old man telling you about why you should die poor.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most students don't watch.
What do we do?
Today, many are taught that capitalism is a problem.
Its time may be running out.
Younger people see so clearly the failings of capitalism.
I can't say I'm pro-capitalist without my friends, people on the internet, or anyone really coming at me for it, telling me, how could you? Everything
You're not
on
wrong.
social media is eat the rich.
Eat the rich and feed the poor. This is class war.
Kill capitalism. It's synonymous with...
Yeah, I mean, the sad thing is, though, is that things like PragerU and people like Ben Shapiro, The Daily Wire, Stephen Crowder, they do influence young people. Things like Andrew Tate. There's many stories of teachers talking about how young people are becoming more, I don't want to say exactly conservative, but at least socially they're acting in that way.
I covered the school district in my area for a little while, and I talked to a lot of the teachers, especially the female teachers, because frankly, there's a lot of female teachers. And the thing they brought up like repeatedly, and it stuck out, was the fact that a lot of the boys in their classrooms are all big Andrew Tate fans.
Yeah.
They're all big, and like all of them had stories about them being called shit, being like having stuff thrown at them being touched. It's like very inappropriate shit just because of like some internet garbage. So like I agree with you, but like the people paying attention to this are fucking stupid. So it's like, and you know what? In fairness to a lot of these young people too, a lot of the time, as we just saw, they're literally forced to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, just straight up. Like, you want to talk about the leftist indoctrination, like, which doesn't honestly fucking exist beyond weirdos. Like, this is, like, institutionalized indoctrination. So, what the fuck ever.
Greed.
That's fair. Capitalists want to make more money for themselves.
Sure. By wanting more money, I can create something that I can then sell to other people.
And why is that good?
Because then you get new products and you get new innovation.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
The media tell.
Yeah.
See, reinvent, but not invent. No, almost. Like...
Well, I disagree with you. I think the iPhone was revolutionary, but mind you, where have we gone since the iPhone? Fucking nowhere. The reason why is because the iPhone would make more money than everything else at the time, as it still does to this day. So, I think actually here's my greatest argument against this. Do you know who is the greatest innovator? The U.S. government. You know why? They landed a rocket 3 million miles away on a fucking rock.
They made the internet.
They didn't even have the internet. They did it all over like fucking analog and radio.
Yeah. I mean, you can make the argument that, the Russians, they made Sputnik, and they sent
the Germans, they contributed a lot.
But at the end of the day, it's governments competing against governments.
Yeah.
Not exactly companies going at it. It's like when you look at the first time doing the exploration to the New World, it was governments competing against other governments.
Here's my
point. You
point.
look at the internet with DARPA, like it was government functions. It was government.
In short, NASA, no one's matched any of NASA's achievements.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of scientific and experimental bodies, NASA holds the crown. No one's made a sky crane on Mars. No one's landed people on the moon. It's only NASA.
Yeah, hello to the third viewer.
Hello, third viewer.
Wherever you are. We're just talking about how there's this guy.
Propaganda.
Who's also shown in schools. Name, I think, is John Stossel.
They show him the kids in high schools.
Yeah.
And we're learning about why capitalism is indeed poggers and why socialism is indeed not poggers.
Yeah.
Shall we?
And not all innovation just comes from capitalism.
Oh, yeah, basically, if you want the serious thing, they left. No!
Rooney.
Damn! Well, you already heard the argument, Corn, so I'm not going to repeat it.
Plus, capitalism makes life worse.
If capitalism works, if this is the best we got, why does it seem to give such a raw deal?
But kids who learn from Stossel in the classroom know it's a good deal.
Everyone watching this video is living a better life than even the richest men of the 1800s.
This video from high school student.
That's a shit. I kind of hate that argument, though, in principle, because it's like, yeah, our technology's better than theirs, but, like, if they had the same wealth they had now, they'd be better off than they were, than those kids, so it's not the argument, like, the technology relativity argument's so shitty, because, like, the wealth argument's still there. Like, they lived a better life than that kid back then would have. So...
what did you know? The people who lived in Egypt lived better lives than the people who lived when we first found animal husbandry, and the people who lived in fucking Mesopotamia. Look, as the time went on, we had more advancements. They lived better. Like, we have the advantage of being born tomorrow instead of yesterday. Like, that's fantastic. Look, the people today live better than those yesterday.
Yeah, like fucking Hadur.
As time went on, we found out more things. You have vaccines. Like,
all of it was capitalism.
Yeah, certainly the wheel wasn't made during socialism. The wheel was not made unless capitalists were there to profit behind the wheel. Oh, no.
Who? Tell me, where's the... listen, who would have made a wheel without a profit motive?
Yeah, the wheel would not have been made unless somebody was there to sell it.
Thag sold it for 5 coconuts that day.
Yeah.
He learned about capitalism.
His head explodes.
Yeah, Thag's wife was very happy about him bringing home all those coconuts.
Hayden Morgan points out how capitalism's innovation improves our lives.
We got air conditioning, we got cell phones, we got microwaves, we got stinking toilets.
So, oh god, I keep pausing.
Toilets, exactly.
I'm gonna keep it short. Because we keep getting hung up.
Yeah.
Those are innovations of science. That's science you're looking at. That's not capitalism. That's science. Capitalism didn't fucking study radio waves and radiation. It was science. It was governments. It was investment. Okay? That's science. We'd have that shit if capitalism wasn't a thing.
It's like, oh, look, if you didn't have feudalism, you wouldn't have fucking swords. You wouldn't have simple things made during that time. There's no gunpowder without...
He defined free market. Did we miss it? Did we miss free market?
It's like saying, like, if you go back to the time, like, whoever built the first boat is going to be like, oh, well, you wouldn't have boats if you didn't live under fucking tribalism.
I know he defined free market. That's not my problem. I'm mad about the fact that he's saying that the free market is where all these innovations come from.
Yeah, it's like science would have just stopped.
Yeah.
Like, there would have been no science... No advancements if there wasn't capitalism.
No, yeah, it was science. Like, this is scientific achievement you're staring at. So that's all I was saying. Like, I know.
And also, some of the greatest advancements, like the internet, was because of government initiatives.
Yeah, the DARPA.
Like,
the DARPA
it is what it is.
GPS
science
as well.
Advances.
You like Google Maps?
Yeah.
Thank GPS. Like.
You like even Starlink, that's heavily government funded.
It's a bit monotonous with this topic. Yeah.
It is very monotonous. It's like, hey, capitalists created ACs. Well, feudalists made fucking boats. Or, you go back tribal days, they made, like, agriculture. You wouldn't have a fucking cow farm if it wasn't for the tribalists in Africa.
Let's skip ahead a little bit. To the memes. To the memes.
American kids understood that.
Socialism is totally on trend. Kids love socialism.
I think socialism is great.
Socialism is on point. I mean, I don't really know what socialism means, to be completely honest with you.
Kristen knows. She learned what socialism means.
The death of 100
not just
million.
from my videos, but from her dad. He grew up under socialism in Bulgaria, where not only were people poor, but modern music was even banned.
He couldn't listen to rock music without the fear of persecution, of getting beat even.
Some fans roamed the streets of Sofia at night and yelled, "Punk's not dead," but always after making sure that the police were not around to arrest them.
The only way her dad could hear what Westerners could hear was to smuggle in tapes. The quality was awful.
Absolutely.
But they would play it all day.
All day. It was the only taste they had of what life was like outside of that.
So I guess my only thing I'm gonna ask the most obvious fucking question in the universe is, you think that's the only version of socialism? That's socialism. That's what we all want when we fight for socialism. We want the Soviet Union to take control. Yeah. Or that's what happens because as do-gooders, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
It's a bit ironic though that they bring up these examples from the 60s, early 70s, 50s, but yet they don't bring up modern examples. Like, you'll say Europe is socialist. Where's the Iron Curtain in Britain? Where's the Iron Curtain in Italy? Where's the Iron Curtain in the Netherlands?
We'll move on after this point.
Yeah, like they say, like, oh, look at the Iron Curtain in Soviet Union. That's like they literally have to go back to the Soviet Union or old states. When people think about socialism in college and those stuff, they're really just thinking about the Netherlands, Nordic countries, Europe, and now they have these programs like a SOCDEM.
And if you're a real leftist,
if you really are going to criticize that form of socialism, then go after those countries.
And also,
because they're not thinking about the Soviet Union.
There's also a point that people argue socialism's never been tried. Well, there's a few places being tried actively, and they're very successful experiments. If you want, look up Rojava in Kurdish, basically Kurdistan, which is not a real country.
And if you really want no government involvement, you want to see a perfected version of no government, look at Somalia.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you really want the absence of government, see how that takes hold.
Well, I'm just saying in terms of alternative visions of socialism, because socialism got so tainted by the USSR. What they're doing in Mexico, the EZLN, the people. I mean, Cuba, for its flaws of many, there are many flaws. Hell yeah, even the Nordic countries with their collectivist programs. I mean, there's lots of visions, and they all are going to contribute, and they've all been very successful in their own ways. I mean, those are the visions of socialism that we want. Like I said, the EZLN and Rojava are definitely more anarcho-bented, but they are probably the farthest left communist/anarchism that is successful, that's being tried out actively. Arguably, Rojava is actually social democratic anyway. It just has anarcho principles in a lot of its population. So it's just, there's alternative visions, and people have always been innovating. People will continue to innovate. So, like, yeah, you're right. Soviet Union sucked. So let's not being hung up on a failed state that was, let's be frank, borderline fascist. Because a lot of their internal policies you might have agreed with. Keeping out all the foreign degeneracy, for example. Because you know what Bulgaria has done recently? They made it easier to kill pedophiles. Which sounds good on paper. But remember what conservatives consider a pedophile. They consider everything that's in the LGBTQ, basically the letter mafia. Everything in the letter mafia is pedophilic. So just keep that in mind. And Bulgaria is also kind of far right, so they probably think the same shit. So it's like, yeah, Bulgaria has never been a great place. Bulgaria's kind of shit. Bulgaria got shit ideas. I'm pretty sure people are nice, but your politics are shit. So there, straight up. Good on them. Based.
Yeah, I mean, the core point is that in the Republican world...
Yeah, he agrees with it. He said based. Listen, man, you don't want this because they're going to go after the waifu fuckers next. I'm just saying. They're going to go after the waifu fuckers, and there's nowhere you can hide after that. All the furries are dead. You're all that's left.
Go to the next article.
Yeah, this shit is boring. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Iron Curtain.
I guess the problem is that if just regular LGBTQ people are pedophiles, then they'll just kill seemingly just normal gay people and lesbians and everyone of the like.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, the churches are. Yeah. But like, just remember, they went for the furries, and I said nothing. And they went for the waifu fuckers. And I kind of let them, let's be real. Okay. What's this one? DC says no to the wheat. We already covered that. Oh, Republicans want starving children. Ah, yes.
Yeah, so the Republicans are taking on a new issue for the nation, and it's to stop kids from getting free lunches when they're at school.
So you know how I praise the idea of just not means testing it and letting kids eat if they want food?
Yeah.
Republicans said, fuck that. You're going to starve. You're going to starve, you little bitch-ass motherfucker. You better learn to work.
And they'll say, like, oh, why do rich people need school lunches? Chances are they won't even grab it. Why would they? They're rich. They can buy their own food. They probably are going to buy their own food. Their family probably makes their food for them or buys it and gives it to them on the daily.
I'm not on the spectrum of LGBTQ, so it's really not a big deal to me. Yeah, but if you like anime, just saying. You like anime, don't you, Corn Slop?
The idea of what makes somebody gay can also be subject to what their ideas of masculinity. Like, you know, you go today, like, if you wear all pink, that could be seen as gay. If you go back a couple of years, pink was a manly color. Should you have the freedom to wear a dress?
Corn Slop, do you watch anime? I don't watch anime, do you? Sometimes. Older animes and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of don't like the degeneracy of most modern anime, so. Cowboy Bebop's pretty good. At least the woman in there is of age.
What do you watch, Corn Slob? You watch Corn?
Do you watch Corn?
Corn, yeah. Well,
Mob Psycho's good too. Mob Psycho's really good. I was talking about that one earlier.
Mob Psycho. I like the cyberpunk anime.
Yeah, that one seemed like it might have been good too. Yeah.
Like, even if somebody who doesn't watch anime, cyberpunk Edge Runners would be good. It
didn't have like the degeneracy of most anime.
Yeah, and also it's pretty American. Like, it would be normal to normal people. It still, of course, has the anime flares, but the world and all the writing is made by, you know, Americans.
I blame Naruto and shows like Kill la Kill for that, though.
You're
on the chopping block, bud. Fuck.
Oh, God.
No.
Too bad a lot of Americans like anime.
And you know what's fucked up about that, man? Corn Slop, is that like I'm on like every single fucking like list because it's just like I'm bi, I like anime, and I mean I'm not a furry, but I mean, you know, solidarity with my furry brothers, you know, and sisters out there, you know. Cyberpunk is still anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Certainly
still
is.
anime. Yeah.
But then would you consider Avatar: The Last Airbender anime? Like, where's the line?
I consider it anime.
Yeah, I would consider it a Western anime.
Yeah. Yeah, Western. Yeah, for sure. It became its own genre after a while. But yeah,
like it's Teen Titans, the original.
God, we got distracted by this so quick. God damn you, Corn Slop. Republicans want kids to starve. Okay,
Yeah, so
why?
they're trying to stop people from getting free lunches.
It's about the budget.
And not adults, but children.
It wants to eliminate the school lunch program as a part of its cuts to the 2024 budget. And it says here that CEP allows certain schools to provide free lunch regardless of the individual eligibility. Good. You know why this is good? Because it's not about because let's be real, the individual eligibility is about their parents. And when it comes to a child's education and care, it's not about their fucking parents. It's about them. So, yeah, like, that's why I'm fine that there's no means testing. If they want that to be an option to them, then that should be an option to them. If they, that's fucking crazy, right? They're kids. They've done no wrong. They haven't had a chance yet.
Even, like, on the off chance that a rich person forgot to give their kid lunch, do you think they should just go without eating? Like,
yeah.
No, it would just be nice.
Oh,
that
boo
they could
hoo. So do Democrats.
Like, Corn Slob, are you saying that
They want
Democrats also don't want people to have lunch?
I mean, the Republicans are the austerity. They're the austerity party, man. They're the ones who.
Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of Democrats who just posture and they're just bullshitters.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna fight this.
Yeah.
They're not gonna fight this. They're fucking cowards and weaklings. But at the same time, the Republicans are actively moving against it. They're the austerity party. They literally rather save a few bucks than just feed the kids. The kids have done no wrong. They don't need to be judged based on their parents.
It's like Republic. Like, how should I put it? Republicans aren't for it, but Democrats are, but at like with the most minimal of effort. You know, it's not like the whole party standing behind this effort for the Democrats. You know, it's groups of them.
Yeah.
Like Nancy Pelosi isn't going to die on this hill. You know, she's not going to come out and be like, "Yeah, let's help the poor children." You know, she's
Didn't she do cuts to Medicaid though? She suggested cuts to Medicaid.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I don't think that's beyond her.
Yeah,
like even
they're evil. The Democrats are evil too. If you want the both sides from me, I firmly believe the country is sliding slowly into fascism and fascist-like tendencies, and the Democrats are not stopping it. They're not even really blocking it. They're just fucking. Frankly, they're turtling up. They're sticking to their stronghold states, and that's about it.
Love turtles.
But but on the national level though, where they have the ability to fight this stuff, they don't. And it's very
they
frustrating.
flop over and show their belly.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, and the country slides deeper into fascism. What?
Do you want the next article?
Yeah, let's go. Oh, this one's gonna be good. Matt Walsh, diversity is anti-white, so he just goes mask off in this one, doesn't he? Just full on. Give me 1 second.
Oh, you have to go down one.
You have to go down one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm concerned too. And
that works too, actually. Give me 1 second.
Low res Matt Walsh.
Yes,
He's taking
Matt
up
Walsh.
too much of the internet.
Matt Walsh, as if he was streamed to a space station.
In court slot, where would you name yourself on the political spectrum? I mean, like, are you Democrat, Republican, Independent, Libertarian, which would be sus?
Listen, I go back and forth on the while Corn Slob answers that question. Hopefully, I go back and forth on the hate because sometimes I get why I hate Republican policies, and it's very difficult. But then you talk to a Republican, and you hear why they think the things they do, and I forgot I think it was Destiny, one of the YouTubers.
Yeah,
it's like first principles are all the same. We believe in fairness.
Yeah,
but second principles aren't the same, which is like how to arrive at fairness. So in those situations, I think those people can be convinced. And hell, maybe even I can be convinced. Maybe they have good ideas. Frankly, straight up.
Maybe you don't need to convince them, though, if you're following the David Pacman view, where he thinks that really what you really got to do is activate your voter base.
I think that's very simple.
Or like you have enough people who are on your side. You just got to make them get to the, voting.
That's the same battle, though, in just different words. Because
one is attacking swing voters, and the other one's attacking, like, the base that's reluctant to come out.
I don't completely agree.
I would say that Trump is going head first into...
I'll give you proof. Of that. The people who voted for Obama voted for Trump. Lifelong Democrats voted.
But was it enough people to overturn the election?
It was enough for it to swing things, it seems.
I wonder.
I'm just saying that if it was enough to swing things even a little bit,
did it swing because they changed, or did it swing because
they got
the
more
Democratic Party did not come out for Hillary Clinton?
Well, the narrative, whether or not it is
like were Democrats just so deflated by the idea of Hillary Clinton?
The narrative, if you believe it or not, was that those people felt abandoned because a lot of them are like blue collar workers in the Rust Belt that got abandoned by NAFTA and the various other national deals we made. So, if that's true, which I will say I've heard a pretty reputable source to say it, then I can understand that perspective a lot, yeah. You're voting based on your self-interests, on your day-to-day interests.
Either way, though, by doing that, you're also activating your base of voters as a Democrat. So, I guess they come in hand.
But you swung them the other way, which means that there's a percentage of people that can be convinced. Look at Bernie Sanders. He polled very... I guess what I'm trying to say is I think we should move out of the thought of we need to activate the people who already agree with us. Because if they already agree with us, then if our message is good, they'll come to it. They'll come to it. They don't, they already agree with the message. So really, it's like, I just think progressives have a good enough message. They can convince people who wouldn't normally vote Democrat to vote Democrat. Like that's the weakness of Democrats, is that they think inside their own party. They think only activating the people who already vote them. It's like, Bernie did something to people who usually wouldn't vote for Dems. I think that's very important to see and to incorporate. That's how. Okay, last point, and I'll stop. He's the one who got the farthest. He has probably the most effective strategy.
Then he would also be the person who would activate the voter base even more.
But he also went outside of his voter base. Every poll showed this. Every comparison.
But he didn't go outside the voter base and go down the middle as a centrist.
No, but in terms of when they ran his likeliness against Trump, he was going to do better. Or at least in all the projections, by a lot more than Hillary.
I don't know if that definitively says...
Republicans had a better view of him than Hillary. They viewed him as generally trustworthy.
Or maybe the Democrats just wouldn't have voted for him.
I don't think that would have happened. They fall in line.
I think there's studies that show that a lot of them did not turn up. Like, just in general. And there's a lot of Democrats registered, but a lot don't show. I mean, you can go by state, because what could be true for Florida could not be true for Ohio. What could be true for, Wisconsin could not be true for New York, or yada.
But you see my point, right? I think progressives have a unique ability to reach beyond their party, which I think Pacman is committing a big mistake by not thinking about.
Hey, unless he has the stats.
I mean, maybe he has the stats, but I think that's old-fashioned thinking, and the Democrats are relying us to keep thinking that way.
No, I think if anything, it's not, because he's talking about bringing up issues that are more to the left, like a sock dem, and then presenting that to the voter base to get them riled up like Bernie, but not going down and becoming a centrist like Hillary.
But you think Bernie was a centrist?
That's literally the opposite of what I said.
No, I asked. Yeah. So
but that's my point, is that Bernie was good and he was riling up the base because he wasn't a centrist.
But you don't think he also had a?
I'm pretty sure he also you could say that Bernie's unique in that even Republicans said that there is no real problem. Like, they thought he was an honest person and they gave him more credence because he wasn't seen as a typical Democrat.
I think that is.
You might have a problem getting that across with somebody like Ro Khanna or Gavin Newsom, or even somebody like Nina Turner.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll have the same appeal to them like Bernie did in that way.
I think they need to find someone who will have that effect because, frankly, that is the progressive strongest element, especially if you're talking about winning the general.
I don't know if they'll find somebody in time for the next two elections, maybe the second election.
Yeah,
and 2028. They'll find somebody running against Ron DeSantis.
I guess I know you and Vosh might disagree with this perspective, but I guess the reason why I come at this from the way I am is that I don't like the party thinking of already appealing to people who vote my way. Because at the end of the day...
the point is that they don't vote, because...
Yeah. Well, a lot of them don't vote as is, but that's because you gave them, maybe Pacman's right, you appeal to them more.
Yeah.
But I would argue Bernie pulled a lot of those people in by appealing to them who were outside or even on the other side.
I could see that. But when you look at all the people who don't vote, are they not voting because they didn't see a centrist, or are they not voting because they didn't see a strongly left economic Democrat? Are they not voting because they didn't show up on Fox News, or are they not voting because you didn't get somebody who was Bernie in economic policy?
Oh, well, the reason why no one voted for Hillary was easy. Yeah, it had a split vote.
Yeah.
Half the party
were they pulling
cheated.
from Middle America, the people who are swing voters, or was he pulling from people who are new voters?
He was probably pulling from the newer voters.
Yeah,
maybe swing voters in some places.
And that's.
There were some swing states he actually, I believe, he pulled, but yeah, I get your point. But that's why I come back to the point that he probably would have done better. It was just that they had to get the entire Democratic Party to fall on him like a hammer.
Oh, for Biden?
No, for Bernie.
For Biden. Well, I mean, for both.
Yeah.
You have them go back and back up Biden, and have them all crush Bernie.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they had to do that much does kind of... I think there's like I said, That's what progressive. I don't know, like, I don't like sticking to the old thinking.
We're tangent.
We are going on tangent. Yeah, sorry, Matt.
Matt Walsh talking about how
I hate
diversity
Matt
is
Walsh so much,
anti-white,
man.
and that's a red flag.
This racist piece of shit. We're
It's
just
a
gonna
red
hear
flag
more.
to say that to have diversity is anti-white because that means you're anti-other races.
Man, all I know
would
is
say-
one day, if we ever get paid for this shit, if we can ever get like a Patreon or something, and we listen to the God, like, you know, it sounds fun,
Look,
but
yeah.
in a fucked up kind of way.
Look,
Same way drinking shitty malt liquor would be.
Look, I'm just saying, like, isn't it like a red
Are you
flag for
guys
you to say,
gay friends or no guy friends or gay lovers?
"Oh, guy friends"?
Oh,
It
gay
may be
lovers.
Pride Month, but
Gay
guy
lovers for the month, my dear.
We hold hands while fishing, but that don't mean nothing under the water.
I'm just thinking.
No,
fucking God. I'm just thinking about how I gotta like. Would you how much money, like, would you take to watch Matt Walsh for 5 hours straight?
Oh, I'd do it for a dime.
You do it for a dime?
I do it for a nickel.
I don't know, man. My hairline would go back more, and my stress level would go up.
What does it mean to say like diversity is anti-white? Does that mean being pro-white is anti-minority?
We haven't even gotten into this shit,
if
man.
diversity is, you know, other cultures, like let's say diversity is like black diversity, right? And so does that mean being pro-white is anti-black? That's a weird bullet to bite on, and if somebody ever debated him, that would be an interesting thing to make him bite. You know, like if being pro-black is anti-white, then when you say you're pro-white, does that mean you're anti-black?
I just gotta hear more hateful fucking bullshit.
Run it through your brain every minute.
Oh, I know. Fuck.
Well, I'm concerned too, and my concern is this: that if you still have any confusion about what these diversity initiatives actually are, well, this should clear it up. Diversity absolutely means anti-white. That's what it means. All diversity initiatives are anti-white initiatives. Anytime you hear about any kind of diversity initiative anywhere, whether it's in government, in corporations, in any institution at all, it is an anti-white initiative.
What do you want me to say besides the fact that it's fucking racist Nazi bullshit? Because
you
so
know,
much of the country is brown.
classes, like you have a bunch of people from the lower class, white people, lower class brown people, you know, from all cultures.
Yeah, you know, they used to be against poor people serving too in like the various fucking democratic bodies. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say about this besides the fact that like he just wants the white race to govern over all the other races in America. Like, I guess, you know, fuck what America is supposed to mean, I guess. Like, what am I gonna say? It's fucking Nazi bullshit, man.
Yeah, like for Matt Walsh's idea, yes, Matt Walsh believes if you give black people the right to vote, that means the white vote is worth less. Who would have thought? Same conclusion, same line of logic. If you help black people with the Voting Rights Act, that means the white man has less voting power. Who would have thought that if you help out other cultures, that hurts you?
Voting inflation. That's that, because remember, the value of one vote gone down.
Yeah, and it's really bad when your line of logic simulates those of white racists from the fucking early 1900s.
From 2 centuries,
you know?
yeah, from the last 2 centuries over.
Yeah, who would have known? Matt Walsh would have been a Democrat in the Civil War. You know?
Hey,
who would have thought?
I certainly wouldn't be a Democrat during the Civil War.
Diversity is an anti-white conspiracy, and you can clip that and cut it and post it on Twitter, because I know you will, because that's what it is.
I mean, America is one of the most diverse countries in the world. It's literally not.
And when a Republican says diversity is anti-white, just know that Republicans are also for doing away with some provisions of the Voting Rights Act, which the cases that are dealing with this say, oh, look, there's this county, majority black, they're being misrepresented because they're all stuffed into one district when they should be separated in many districts to be able to get full voting power.
They have institutions to make sure people of color stay down forever.
Like,
so
when they say having black people have representation means less white power, they also mean that in the voting spectrum as well, when it comes to the ballot. They do this with counties. Let's say you separate to 10 districts, they'll fit all, if not most, of the minority population into one district, while leaving the whites have all the other districts. And what would you know? A Republican who believes diversity is hurting the white power would also agree with doing away with the Voting Rights Act that would stop that mitigation on minority voting rights.
Let's just be real what this is. It's fear of coexistence.
Yeah. You just don't like the fact that your suburbanite ass is going to have to share the world with minorities.
Yeah,
like,
sorry, man. An Indian guy, an Indian cybersecurity analyst moved next door. His name's Poddeep. His wife's name fucking Amia or whatever. And they're happy and they live next door and they're brown. Okay? Happens, right? They got money now, okay? All the brown people got money now because they've been around for a few generations and now they got fucking generational wealth.
I wouldn't be surprised if the video of Matt Walsh talking about why those cases of the Voting Rights Act are good. You know, saying that, doing away with it is normal because states should have the right to do their elections. Which, who would have known? It would have all went back to quote-unquote state rights. Yeah, I mean, hidden behind the rhetoric of state rights.
Fucking mask off.
And if you ever doubted it, well, here you go. Because the diversity chief at Uber tried to do one thing, okay, host one event. This was one session, as part of a series where they were talking all about diversity and all the ways that, quote unquote, people of color are victimized. And in the middle of that series, just one session, one little event where she tepidly suggested that, hey, you know, maybe we also shouldn't use racial slurs against white people. Maybe. You know, maybe we shouldn't do that. And just that one time, and she was fired for it. Nice. The black and Hispanic workers were offended. They were offended by it.
I'd argue that the weight behind the C slur for white people is not the same as the N slur for African Americans. I mean, if you want to equate those two, sure, you could, if you're an ignorant fuck, but
yeah, how's that even anti-white?
Yeah.
Like, that literally didn't... That sounds like fucking old man talk. It's like, what the hell? It's like, you know how they're anti-white? Listen to me. Here's how they're anti-white. They're anti-white because they don't let me... They say that being called white is like being called freaking the N-word.
Twitter bait nonsense. Who cares? From Corn Slob.
Oh my god, I know. Listen, Corn Slob.
I mean, that's the name of the game.
It's the cotton mill. We make content out of this. We can edit it and post it online. But admittedly, you're not completely wrong.
I hate Twitter, and I hate how it is made just to be inflammatory and get people's eyes. But the sad thing is, a lot of people get their news and politics from Twitter. A lot of people get their political understanding of the world from people like Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson.
You know,
they do affect the American positions on issues. I wish it wasn't true.
Half of me wanted to say, like...
I wish everybody just read fucking scientific studies. Yeah, I wish that everybody went back to listening to fucking Mr.
Listen, Corn Slob. My friend's very mad. I'll say it nicer. If people were smarter, Twitter wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, but Twitter, you signed off on your brain. Yeah, I know. It's like you just doused.
You know what sucks too, is that as a reporter, do you know as a reporter we're basically supposed to have like an online presence in some form?
If you're in any part of the news world, you need, like, whether you're a journalist, a political figure, everybody, they need a Twitter.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. And I hate being on Twitter because I hate arguing. I used to argue a lot on like Instagram and Facebook and shit when I was like a kid. Yeah. And now it's just like, man, I've got time.
It sucks how social media has pigeonholed political thought.
The fucking dark abyss where you just burn time.
Wait, Costco's trending in politics?
What?
Costco, right here.
Give me a moment.
What's happening to...
Give me a moment.
What happened? Did they raise the price of their hot dog?
Fucking Costco. They won't let me.
Oh, no. Oh.
We didn't worship the Twitter gods enough. Whatever. It's fine.
That's okay.
All right, I was gonna say we could end it, but nah, I want to these. If we don't do these, we're not gonna be able to.
I mean, we can skip the millions of acres in Brazil going to waste because of beef.
Okay. We can skip the real gentrifiers then.
Yeah.
Skip
We can
that.
skip the Afghan one.
All right, fine. You give. I'll give one more then. See, the problem is that by the time I get this one up, it'll probably be a dead story.
You're not reporting here. You're only commenting, so it's not very necessary to get rage bait.
You're not reporting here. You're only commentating. Very necessary.
Well,
you know what? That's a fair point.
That's fair, but reporters. I mean, do they rage bait? I mean, if you're like an actual like Matt Walsh isn't a reporter.
Yeah,
like
he's a
only
social
commentators
figure.
really rate. Like if you're a tried and true reporter reporting on like a case in like Jan 6th, you're on the ground. I mean, only commentators rage bait, no?
Oh, and also to be honest with you, Corn Slob, this is where I like to dump all my anger and piss and vinegar, because I actually am a reporter on the side. It's just that I got a lot of opinions, and I think I'm real smart. So instead of writing them out and getting paid for them, I yell them on the internet. So hopefully one day I can get paid that way. But yeah. Anyway, the oh God.
I mean, if you're talking about like people like Matt Walsh, they don't need a rage bait. I mean, like I would like it if they weren't unnecessarily
Orca attacking. I guess I'll
for
take
the sake of the views.
Help me figure which one to take out. Orca is attacking boats, or Taurus submarine goes missing near the Titanic.
They're both poetic.
All right.
I'm not sure which one to take out. We could take out the beef one from Brazil.
Yeah, we kind of covered stuff like that before.
Yeah, sucks though. Makes a good argument for.
God, a lot of those are mine though.
Scientifically made beef.
Okay. Okay. Well, we can go through those.
If you don't,
the Young Turks thing is only like a minute.
Okay.
So, like, it's a long video, but we're only gonna look at it for a minute.
Is there anything that's not rage bait that you'd like us to look at? Corn slob?
Yeah, Corn, Mr. Corn of the slob of the corn.
If not, then the slob of whatever we have will continue.
More like the fucking trough, man.
Sub?
Jesus.
Oh, the sub. I mean, there was a submarine.
Oh, yeah, there was a submarine. All right, screw it then. We'll skip to the submarine. There's actually been updates on this story since we talked about it. So, wait, let me make sure we don't...
Make sure, yeah, no doxing. So, yeah, there was a submarine that was going to look at the Titanic where it crashed and landed.
No, it's down there. It's still down there. They lost contact with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going... Like, it's down there, but it's gone dark.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we don't have contact with that submarine, which, if I remember right, there's a billionaire on the submarine. So that could be a big L for
also,
anything like this in the future.
The last time I heard about the update for this story, which was about a few hours ago, he had only 40 hours of air left. So probably by now he has like 35, 36. Yep. And he's just down there at the bottom of the fucking ocean, man.
I wonder if they have like sleep pills. It's like, hey, in case of situation, they just go to sleep.
That would be kind of smart.
Just
like if the sub
take
can't
up less
move.
energy and less oxygen.
Yeah, if the sub can't, like, if you can't pilot the sub, might as well, right?
Get your melatonin.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. That's actually that's exactly what I was going to say. You were fucking thinking for me at that point, Jesus. Because it's like, why?
And it sort of sucks. I mean, were they doing this for any like scientific reason, or is it just like a spectacle thing, like billionaires going to space? But in this case, they want to see the Titanic.
On social media, Wigan Harding said he was proud to announce that he'd be aboard the mission to the wreck of the Titanic, but added because of the worst winter, this mission is likely to be the first and only manned mission to the Titanic in 2023. He later wrote, "A weather window just opened up, and we're going to attempt to dive."
So he decided to go during the worst winter. And it's like, well, Monday looks pretty fucking open to me, all right?
I mean, rich people spend $50K to hike Mount Everest, and people die there, so this is just an afternoon for them. You're not entirely wrong, but what makes this funny, and I appreciate this in a fucked up way, is that a lot of the billionaires want to go to space, but, you know, unironically, we have actually explored more space than we have of our own ocean. So, Like, I appreciate a billionaire showing interest.
I also think this is special for the fact that he went during the worst winter.
Yeah.
It's like you could have just waited a year.
Let's see.
You gotta just like, taking a bit of time.
Yeah, you talk. I'm gonna see if they figure out what happened.
And for the people that go to places like Mount Everest, like I feel like it isn't really the same because like going there, you don't really have the chutzpah of some people who go there and they do it themselves and they go with their own tracking gear and they aren't supported by the people like fucking Man vs. Wild, where you have a whole crew with you to support you that a billionaire would have.
Oh, it says here that they can't really find it or locate it or communicate because it's deep underwater. And that they were sealed in there by bolts applied from the outside. Why?
Well, I mean, it's probably to secure them from the
That's
water
fucking
pressure.
stupid.
But I mean, what like, were they going to open the submarine from body crushing depths?
They actually have flotation. Yes, they have a device that will inflate and pull you up slowly to the surface.
And so the bolts stop them from doing that?
They can't get out of the fucking sub.
Well, like, they can't, but could that device get out of the sub?
Well, I believe that device is like a man device. Like, you put it on your body. Yeah. I think they're alive just barely. They won't live for more than 3 days. Yeah, 40 hours. I mean, that's an estimate, and that was 4 hours
Unless
ago.
they take the sleeping pills and they're just asleep, taking the least amount of oxygen they can get.
Yeah, so assume they get all 35 hours. It's like, that's a day. That's a day and a half. No, yeah, like a day and a half, barely. So it's like, what are they going to do? And fucked up part about all this is that we won't even know, like, if they die down there, we won't have any idea why or how.
Yeah, it just happened.
Oh, you know what I just realized? Is this the Bermuda Triangle? That's funny. Wait, hold on. No, it's not. No.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Give me a second. Newfoundland. Where is Newfoundland?
Canada.
Oh, wait. It might actually be.
Canada?
No, wait, never mind.
Yeah.
No.
Canada isn't Spain.
I was way off.
Mm.
Nah, okay. So, the Newfoundland is the... Okay, there's nothing weird in that. It is the coast of Canada. So, so he's homeboy's gone missing around here somewhere, I guess.
Rip. Must be cold as fuck.
Yeah, I'm about to say, god damn, why did you pick the coldest fucking place to do this?
I mean, the coldest time of the year.
Why? Why? Man, dude, Fuck, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Ah, yes. More hatred. Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson will tell you why you need to.
Alright, Jordan Peterson giving us a crazy point.
Praise be to the Borg. I don't know. Praise be to Zulu.
Yeah. Here we have Jordan Peterson. Oh, it is nice coat. Look at that.
Ooh, very nice professor coat.
Yeah, I like it. Digging it.
And what he observed as a consequence of his decades of work was that, first of all, the best thing to do with kids with body dysmorphia was to just leave them the hell alone till they were 18. And the reason for that was, well, first of all, the first reason was that about 80% of them ended up gay. And so part of the reason they were bodily dysmorphic when they were very young is because they were homosexual. And there was some tension between their emerging sexual proclivity and their biological reality, at least in contrast to what was normative. 80% of them would grow up to be gay. So, and that's not that surprising, really, is it? That hyper feminine little boys who are that way by temperament are going to grow up to be homosexual. And on the other side, the female front, that the hypermasculine girls are going to grow up butchy and more likely to be attracted to girls. I don't think that's a real surprise to anybody.
So this is one of those times I wish we had we need to assemble a freaking Sheets document of resources.
Yeah, we need to create a master doc.
Yeah, but as far as I understand, the most effective treatment...
I'll see you, corn slob.
Bye. Have a good night, Corn Slob. Thanks for watching. Please sub, though. We'd love it. We'd appreciate it. Come on, it's Pride Month. Ah, damn. All right. Anyway, so basically, you know, the best treatment for body dysmorphia is doing the transition, whether or not it's a foolproof and whether or not we have all of the procedures down. I think that is up to question, because there's a debate on when to do what and how to do what, and I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be one. I just know what I've been told. So, in terms of, and also historically, if you look throughout history, like, trans people have existed forever. Like, if you go back to the Romans, you know, there were, I believe, women posing as men. Like, that's very common throughout history. Women cross-dressing as men and often playing the societal role of men. And my favorite example is there's a Native Indian, I think it was the Wampanoag. They have a term called third sister, I believe.
Third soul?
No, spirit sister, something like that. It's like basically a third ambiguous gender. Other cultures have acknowledged the existence of a third ambiguous gender. Like, it's been expressed in lots of different ways, but it's human. It's very natural for our species to do this. So, I guess it's just kind of odd to frame this as like a they all turn out gay, when that, like, I don't know if that's true, and I don't know if that helps their suicidal ideation. So, you know.
But the fact that it's 80% is quite the statistic. And what that means is that 80% of the kids who are being transformed surgically are gay.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. So, are you saying 80% of people who transition turn out to be gay, or 80 people who experience dysmorphia turn out to be gay? There's a big fucking difference there, man. You kind of glossed over that. Am I stupid?
We're not even at the crux of the video. Wait.
And so if there's a genocide, so to speak, and there isn't, but if there's a case of mass abuse of the gay community, the most egregious examples of that mass abuse is occurring at the hands of the trans activists, not the heterosexual monogamists. I think the gay community was a hell of a lot better off when they were oppressed by the heterosexual monogamists than when they are allied with the trans activists. And what
No, they hated them. They wanted them dead. And history has been a long battle of stripping that power from them.
Yeah, I mean, before it was illegal to commit sodomy. Before it was illegal to just have sex the way you want to have sex. And in some states, technically, it's still illegal, but, you know, Supreme Court rules them all. So, I mean, the Supreme Court case went in the favor for the LGBTQ community. Okay, what, like, is it okay to have the Mike Pence concentration conversion camps?
Listen,
you know,
as minority groups, straight up, he's giving you guys a poison pill. As minorities, your strength is solidarity and coming together. The more fractured you are, the weaker you are. He is giving you a poison pill. Do not take this advice. Do not listen to this. Shoot your... Unless you're a Republican... You know what? Actually, you know what? If you're a Republican gay organization, listen to this. Yeah, do it. Go on. Fucking shoot yourself in the foot. Oh, he's Jordan Peterson. He's a doctor. Fine, listen to it.
And if they're Christian, they'll tell you just burn in hell for eternity.
Yeah, go on, listen to them then. Do it. You don't want to be fucking stupid. I shouldn't tell the enemy when they're fucking up, but here I am, being a goddamn bad team player again. Alright, so we are both very much pro defunding the military to lower levels.
If I get a cup of fruit punch.
Please, no. We're almost done.
It's 7:22.
Okay.
Wait, when did we start?
At like 4.
That was a 3.
Oh, I don't know. We're almost done. We got this.
Maybe it was at 4. I don't know.
The pain's almost done. Fine, I'll skip the freaking Young Turks video. Fine. Basically, in short, we're gonna do the. Basically, in short, the Young Turks said, "Don't give fighter jets to Ukraine because Biden's escalating." And
oh, that one.
Yeah, and frankly, just in short, listen, a country can do whatever the hell it wants to defend itself. It's not escalating if they weren't the ones who started the war. Ukraine had no ability to attack Russia before this war, and they probably won't have the ability or even the want to do so after. So, no. The only people who escalated are Putin and, you know, if you're gonna back down to all like, I hope liberals aren't this easy, or progressives aren't this easy to intimidate in world affairs. Because it's like, are you guys, like, is this how you would govern? Like, is every time some fucking, dictator gonna threaten you, you're gonna fold? Is that the kind of leadership, like, progressives want to give? That's shit. That's awful. Like, the Americans would still be world leaders. That's the problem. We have that much power. It's to be using it responsibly and in a humanitarian sense. And building a world that's more hospitable to countries dividing their power as opposed to being hegemons. Okay? I don't know. Just fucking crazy. Orcas. Oh, I misdid the link on that one. Basically, orcas are attacking boats, and they think it's because they want to have fun. I can't fucking find the link because I posted the wrong link in there. So we're just gonna skip to the last one. Listen, we both believe the U.S. military has too much money, right?
Yes, I believe the U.S. military at the top of its herd at nearly $1 trillion a year of funding is, you know, bloated. I would say, you know, with the Pentagon losing $1 trillion, maybe there's a bit too much money flowing to this river. All right.
So Task and Purpose is a military analyst channel that I watch. Admittedly, I don't agree with all their takes, but they have fun presentation and they have cool graphics when they show you stuff that would usually be boring. So and he made a video called How the Giant U.S. I love that shit. How the giant U.S. defense budget's too small. We're going to learn today why we're wrong.
Oh boy.
And America, in fact, needs $1 trillion in funding to do it.
Parts Army, I'm your average infantryman, Chris Cappy. You often hear the phrase, America spends more on their military than the next 9 countries combined. So I want to explain why this issue is a lot more complicated and actually worse than you might think, but in ways you might not expect. Let's talk about some raw numbers first. The American Department of Defense received a fiscal year 2023 budget of $797 billion. Looking at how the money is actually used, the U.S. federal government provides a detailed list of what dollars are being spent and where. It might come as a surprise to some, but $120.5 billion, or a quarter of the U.S. military's entire defense budget, actually goes towards payments to retired personnel, housing costs, employment assistance, and other benefits a service member might qualify for once their time in the military is up. $50 billion in the Pentagon goes to healthcare costs. In fact, according to 2021 Stockholm International Peace Research Institute data, if you were to rank total dollar amounts and total veteran benefits, the United States comes in first place with over $250 billion spent, spending over
You know, I would argue, though.
Victims have a...
No, I was just going to argue, actually, wouldn't we be able to cut that cost if a universal healthcare system was implemented?
That depends. Like, yeah, is the VA and, like, the U.S. system able to bargain with private sector?
Yeah.
You know, like, there's an argument made, like, yeah, maybe they're spending a lot of money, but it's because they don't get the low cost that places like Canada or Britain does, where they get literally a fraction of it, less than half the
I
amount.
believe the VA can actually negotiate. The VA can actually negotiate.
Okay, so then what's the problem?
Well, I mean, I was just going to argue, like, if everybody had it, cost of providing services, like, it would increase. I mean, they say they have a shortage of nurses and doctors.
That actually be an interesting argument. Like, does the VA, how do they compare to the normal private system versus Canada?
Yeah, actually, in a weird way, it's like a microcosm.
Yeah, it's like the power of the U.S. bargaining.
See? Uh-oh.
4 times what second place China spends at $59 billion, and spends more than China, Russia, India combined in taking care of its veteran population through the Department of Veteran Affairs.
Why is it so shit, man? Why does that have such a bad reputation?
I don't know.
Because because he's not wrong that graph, it was the biggest one, so it was the biggest brick.
However, at the same time, the U.S. military defense budget consumes approximately half of all discretionary federal spending, and the country would benefit from many of the wasteful defense programs being cut and corruption in the Department of Defense being stamped out. So why are we spending so much more if other countries seem to have no problem spending so much less on more troops? To answer this, we'll need to look at a couple of things. The percent of GDP America spends on national security and where the money is actually going. But first, on to today's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. In 2020, there were over 5 million car crashes. That's more than 50...
No. No Morgan & Morgan.
ForThePeople.com or dial pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone.
Win a trip for two to including air, hotel, VIP tickets.
I'm sorry, I didn't know this was here.
Right now, the United States spends about 3.5% of gross domestic product on national defense, which places them at number 15 compared to the rest of the world. Gross domestic product is a standard measure of the value created through the production of goods and services in a country over the year. One of the reasons...
Keep in mind, though, that our current rate of growth is, like 3% a year? So it's that... So you got to remember that it is literally matching the growth of the American economy.
Since military spending and federal spending in general is compared to the GDP, is to give a reference point for the size of the federal government spending compared with economic activity throughout the entire country. So it gives us a rough idea of how much taxes and revenue a country is going to collect and how much they have at stake to protect. So you notice you probably wouldn't want to live in a country that spends 50% of their GDP on defense like North Korea, and you might not want to live in a country that only spends 0.5% on defense. The hard part is figuring out what the correct middle ground should be. For context, during World War II, defense spending was 41%. In the Korean War, it was 14%. During the
So basically, all of American growth is going to war, but okay.
height of the Cold War, it fell to 10%. Vietnam, it was 4.9%. And during...
You want to know the shitty part about this? Ironically enough, a part of the defense cuts were actually to NASA. A lot of it was NASA. So
here we go.
In the global wars on terror defense...
Moon, military base on Mars.
Yeah.
Eminem.
Bulldog, what are you talking about?
Spending was 4.6%, and we're now down to about 3.5%. This makes the United States by far the largest gross spender on defense, but only third in terms of military size, with India and China both having larger standing armies. Currently, the American military has about 2.1 million members in uniform, about 1.3 million of those being active duty service members, and the remaining 800,000 serving in the reserves or National Guard. Now, if you want to say that a lot of the U.S. military's defense budget is bloated and wasteful and lousy with corruption, I agree. In 2011, the Commission of Wartime Contracting in Iraq and Afghanistan concluded that $31 to $60 billion spent in Iraq and Afghanistan had been lost to fraud and waste. Absolutely, the Department of Defense should have to pass an independent audit and eliminate waste. But it isn't until you get to the fourth on the list of top spenders do you actually get into the real military costs that we see in the news headlines. Broken down by branch for this year, the Army will receive $177.5 billion, $194 billion to the Air and Space Force, and $230.8 billion to the Navy and Marine Corps. Here we can see how the individual numbers start to explain why we have such a high budget. As it stands, the Navy is the most expensive branch, and it's no surprise considering the United States owns 11 of the world's 47 operational aircraft carriers, and those 11 are larger and more advanced and more capable than any of the other 36 currently in use by other nations. The Navy also owns 68 nuclear-powered submarines compared to China's 12 and Russia's 29. Now, what have these aircraft carriers and naval ships been doing since 1945 that's so expensive but justifies that? They've been patrolling the global maritime.
I remember when Obama had a debate with, was it Mitt Romney or was it McCain? It was Mitt Romney, or he was talking about how we need to spend less on the Navy and on boats, and that's when he made the talking point of, oh, we don't spend as much on horses and wagons anymore, like horses and muskets. So like the Navy is something we don't really need to focus on anymore, like making these super huge overpowered boats.
So there's two elements to that. He's going to touch on it. There are arguments that aircraft carriers may be obsolete, but there's a counter argument in the fact that one aircraft carrier can sustain a fucking assault by itself. It carries enough air power and it carries enough troops to sustain an assault. So it's a bit tricky. It's like if we're being real for a moment, aircraft carriers, you could argue, are like the last tool of American imperialism. Think about that. A fucking military base could just roll up to your goddamn coastline any moment. Not a few boats, not a fleet, a fucking army.
So do we fight like? I mean, with Taiwan, we do.
Yeah, that is true.
But do we need that many for Taiwan?
Well, he's about to get into it. So let's hear him out.
Shipping routes through which, according to the United Nations, around 80% of the global trade by volume and 70% of global trade by value are carried by sea and are handled by ports worldwide. The safety and security of that cargo is often guaranteed by this expensive U.S. naval fleet. If you believe this theory to be true, then geopolitical expert Piers Ion put it best.
We used our Navy, the only one to survive the war, to patrol the global oceans so that anyone could go out anywhere and purchase any raw commodity, bring it home, process it into a finished good, and then re-export it for hard currency. There was just one catch. You had to be on our side versus the Soviets. We bribed up an alliance.
As it is now, even with the US Navy out there patrolling, the global maritime piracy and theft cost the world's economy an estimated $9 billion annually. This operational cost also covers naval air forces, which is the second largest air force in the entire world, second only to the actual United States Air Force, and also funds the entirety of the Marine Corps. It's currently estimated that the yearly cost of deploying an aircraft carrier on a typical deployment is upwards of $46 million a year, and the United States typically has 4 consecutive deployments of aircraft carriers at any given time all across the globe. American aircraft carriers are the go-to way of showing the US political will without having to pull any triggers, able to carry troops, vehicles.
So what I said, basically, but in more fucking
Do we need
euphemistic
these
terms.
though to impose that? Can we have more efficient, smaller boats and still impose it?
Can destroyers protect the trade routes? Because, like, let's be real. The way I've always, I kind of hope Task and Purpose would see this, but maybe not. The whole purpose I was always told about aircraft carriers, was to be a military base at sea, and we're not really actively intervening in a lot of places.
But if a lot of these are used for trade routes, do we need something so big for a trade route?
Well, okay, I'll give you the devil's advocate. The ships are capable of letting those... Basically, fighters extend the range of an aircraft carrier by several hundred miles. Like in the war in Ukraine, for example, the F-15 would give Ukraine the ability to strike deep in Crimea.
But is he going to present the argument that this is by this amount more cost efficient than having like 4 smaller boats?
Possibly. I mean, that's one of the arguments I've heard. I don't remember if it was brought up here, but like that's the use of fighters in general. They just have a very long strike range. Ukraine kind of shows that.
Vehicles, electronic warfare capabilities, air defense assets, and more importantly, aircraft to any coast on Earth. They're a tool of posturing, showing the United States is present and able to fight in any given area. It's also not just military efforts that can be utilized, but also there are massive humanitarian assets, acting as a floating hospital, supply points for humanitarian missions, and logistical movers for aid. In fact, there is an entire section of the Department of Defense called the Overseas Humanitarian Disaster and Civic Aid Fund, whose entire role it is to coordinate civic aid to areas experiencing disasters and emergencies.
Is it an efficient way to deploy all that? Like it feels like you're bringing, like
little whatabouty. Huh? It's a little whatabouty. Like whataboutism, kind of.
Yeah, it's like, it's just, like, imagine if you had the Peace Corps, it's like, we'll give you your books, but we have to do it in our diesel oil tanker.
Well, I was going to say, like, it's like if the Peace Corps wanted funding, but only if, like, the FBI gets it too.
Yeah. And only if you bring it in our super war machine, when you could have just done it in a bunch of, like, minivans. But instead, we had to do the multi-billion-dollar war destroyer, the fucking Death Star in the ocean. Like, I guess it's convenient that it's all there.
I mean, you see what I mean, by the way, though? Like, I actually think this channel is very good in their research, but you see the problem with defense analysis euphemism. I talked to you about it off air, like how the defense industry, like defense analysts, use a lot of euphemism. They don't just say it. You know what I mean? Like the aircraft carrier, like what it's meant for.
Like, what if you have a division that's for military and a division that's specifically for aid?
Why can't this be an international like effort? Why does it have to be
just the U.S.,
just the United States? I mean, like that goes back to the world police argument, right? Why can't this be international effort?
But then the U.S. loses hegemony.
Well, it's also if you want to hear devil's advocate,
or hegemony.
Our allies, our allies don't fund their militaries for shit.
They don't.
Navy's logistical sea capability.
Yeah, it's like you want to. I mean, in order for us to demilitarize, other countries would have to militarize.
Yeah,
which is fucking ironic.
As well as the Air Force's massive fleet of 677 cargo planes like the C-17 and C-5, capable of quickly deploying tens of thousands of pounds of civilian material and medical support anywhere with a big enough strip. And it's interesting to note that while the United States spend more than the next 10 nations combined in defense, they're also responsible for the highest amount spent when it comes to foreign aid of any country. $38 billion, or $13 billion in humanitarian aid, which is more than the next 11 countries combined. The infrastructure and logistics for this aid is provided by the Department of Defense. But I'm not here arguing that the U.S.
What countries were they giving it to? Some of those countries looked like okay places. What the hell?
They're also responsible for the highest amount spent when it comes to foreign aid of any country.
Which one's okay?
Oh, this one here. This is us. Oh, never mind. I thought
$38 billion or $13 billion in humanitarian aid.
I thought it said Sweden and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
The next 11 countries combined. The infrastructure and logistics for this.
Yeah, no, I misread
It's
it.
provided by the Department of Defense. But I'm not here arguing that the U.S. defense budget isn't filled with pork barrel waste programs. It is. The U.S. Department of Defense is the only federal agency unable to pass an independent audit 30 years after Congress required it to do so. Not only is the American military spending the most in terms of the latest equipment and technology, but on average has the 3rd highest pay across all countries. And this pay is still far too low because in 2019, we found that 22,000 active duty service members in America had to go on food stamp benefits in order to pay for groceries. Food stamps is a government-assisted payment, and the U.S. Army is actually currently recommending soldiers apply for food stamps to pay for the cost of rising inflation. This is why, in my opinion, the defense budget problem is so bad, because with a budget like $790 billion, we shouldn't have soldiers having trouble feeding their families.
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles.
Very interesting perspective, yeah. But the thing is that this just shows that the corruption. Remember when I talked about corruption in our military? It's bad. The corruption's bad. This kind of just shows it.
But our purse is just so big.
The point I made to my friend here off camera was that the U.S.'s purse is so large that we just overspend our corruption.
Like, it's okay if you take from the cookie jar because we got so many cookies.
Like, it hurts Russia so badly because they don't have the money we do to just keep buying shit.
Yeah.
Like, China's getting to that point too, where China has a little bit of corruption in their industry, but they can just afford to spend over it, and it's fine. So,
like, what was $1 billion here, $1 billion there, 20 billion, 30, 60?
Yeah.
You know, what it meant nothing.
So you see what I mean, though? Like, it's just a lot of wasteful spending.
Conscription policies. Conscripts are often paid infamously low wages and receive little or no benefits after their contract is up. There are over 90 million Americans who are uninsured or underinsured with no health insurance and 600,000 who are homeless. We should be able to solve social problems while maintaining national defense. Looking at the Air Force, it's expected to spend $21.9 billion on operations, large proportion of that going towards the training and upkeep of the largest, most advanced Air Force in the world. It currently costs the Air Force roughly $10.7 million to train a qualified F-35 pilot and nearly $11 million for an F-22 pilot. While those figures might seem mind-boggling, average flight hours for an American fighter pilot sits at around 200 hours per year, compared to Russians with 60 to 100 per year and 100 to 110 hours for Chinese pilots. What this means is American pilots are training twice as much as their near-peer counterparts. And that is almost entirely due to more funds dedicated to fuel and maintenance. Less money for training leads to less effective pilots, and less effective pilots lead to battlefield losses for everyone. A large portion of this budget also goes towards missile defense, reducing the threat of ballistic missile strikes, including nuclear weapons, particularly important as the number of possible hostile nations is currently growing. The Army, likewise, has similar advantages due to a larger budget, with it being the worldwide driving force on ground fighting technology research, such as advanced thermal optics, body armor, training facilities, small arms, and logistics capabilities, none of which are cheap. It costs a single armored brigade combat team about $67,000 to move a single mile in terms of fuel and overall maintenance costs. On average, it takes the Army $50,000 to take a single person from civilian to fully trained infantrymen. And
this just keeps screaming to me, like, why is there not more international cooperation? But it's a bit of a poisonous circle, though, because it's like, yeah, the U.S. could leverage its military to make them all get bigger militaries, but then, I guess.
But then, what's signaling, like, let's say, like, America, like, you know, however way they do it, got the nations, you know, EU, whoever it is, to give them the money, how much of that will be spent on bloat?
Yeah, it's also true, too.
Would it just be a signal of, like, hey, look, we have all this extra money now. Buy the $10,000 mug. You know, like, we did it.
They did it. Yeah, that's true. That's also something like, how are these countries going to make sure, like, if corruption's a problem here, it's a problem there. So.
$1,000 equipping that infantryman with gear, rifle, night vision, and ammunition. Compare this to China spending only about $1,500 per infantry, so $700 of it going towards the rifle alone. Just like with pilots, less.
That's updated recently. They started giving them body armor.
Money for training and equipment means less effective soldiers, and less effective soldiers lead to less soldiers getting homes. Second on the list is the Department of Defense Working Capital Fund, with its $52.5 billion allocated, taking up over 10% of all defense expenditures. This is essentially the DoD's yearly operating costs of its bases, infrastructure, vehicle maintenance, construction, renovation, hospitals, buildings, logistics, transportation, and some R&D funding. This covers everything from providing flu shots every year to fixing potholes on post. The U.S. also spends a fortune on research and development of new technologies, having spent $124 billion in 2022 in that realm. And oftentimes, this research has led to advances in healthcare and telecommunications in the private sector. People often reap the rewards of defense spending in safer air.
Internet.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, like some of those services could easily be folded into public systems, though, no? Like, especially medical. Like, that's like the easiest one.
travel, and better electronics products. This drive to continuously upgrade our military's capabilities largely comes from the idea of overmatch. The idea of overmatch boils down to each component of a formation having an objective and overwhelming advantage on the battlefield.
Yeah.
A perfect example of this was during Desert Storm, where U.S. tanks, through technology alone, outranged, outgunned, out-armored, and outmaneuvered the entire Iraqi army. It follows the old adage, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and is a major reason that the casualties on the ground in fights were so low. In the year 2023, that takes the shape of every soldier at every level having night vision, while Russian and Chinese soldiers might only have them as their key leaders, squad leaders, or platoon leaders, or even how our human resources troops who are away from the front lines are equipped with modern ballistic body armor, while Russia has struggled to even give their frontline soldiers body armor, much of that being defective or just outright fake, and China having only decided that protecting soldiers with plates was a good idea within the last couple of years. Overmatch is the name of the game of American defense R&D. Americans are uniquely sensitive to battlefield losses, and in the fact that the death of a single soldier
in my Issues of American Government class, and he was talking about how one of the what we do in the military, is that you want to come in with as most as you can have for the battle. Just overwhelming force will win you the battle, and it's always just save you money for the fact that you didn't have an overwhelming loss or that many losses. Okay.
Makes national headlines and brings heavy criticism to the government. The DoD, despite its criticisms, places incredibly high value on each soldier and their survivability, and uses overmatch as a way to force protect.
Basically, in short, is that the less sold, okay, in China, they're actually getting rid of a lot of troops. They're going to cut down the army size, with the logic being that, while yes, there's less soldiers, each soldier's worth a fuck of a lot more.
So they're trying to get out the soldiers they see as unfit to bring in the super soldier.
Well, there's a reason he talked about earlier. A lot of armies modern armies are trying to move away from conscripts.
Yeah,
because they're just not that good. Because they don't want to fucking be there.
Yeah, like in Ukraine.
U.S. is by nature an expeditionary force.
Yeah, forced to be there, can't leave the country.
Same with the Russians.
Inflammatory.
The
Who would have thought?
Hey,
that's why the war is dragging so long. It should have been ended last quarter.
Ukraine
Earnings reporter this week. No.
I'm just saying, man. You're right, man. Russian conscripts, they got to go away from their homes, get shot.
I guess they're both evil then, huh?
War fucking sucks. War wastes good lives.
Why are they getting rid of conscripts? Why are they getting rid of conscripts?
Ukraine's that's actually the fucked up part, is that Ukraine is actually training professional units outside of the country. So it's it's kind of weird. I don't know if you'd call them conscripts at this point. Maybe just their offensive units are being
if they're chained long
trained.
enough, they're no longer conscripts. They're now official members of the U.
Well, they have a higher survivability. Yeah. But yeah, I guess the units in the counteroffensive are trained, but the territorial defense forces are probably trained in the country.
We historically do not fight on our own turf and counter threats that take soldiers across the globe. Currently, America owns 750 military installations across the globe, spread out across 80 different nations, ranging from full-size scale bases to smaller shared outposts. The benefit the U.S. and host nations gain are often overlooked. Firstly, these bases are typically favored or even outright requested by whatever host nation holds them, like in the Philippines. They not only provide additional military security in the region, but also are a way of enhancing the host nation's own military through training. And most of these installations are paid for in part by the foreign government itself. Looking at it from a practical, political, and economic sense, it makes more sense to have established bases overseas with a continuous presence of American troops rather than occasional rotations to train with foreign nations. In Germany alone, it's estimated that it would cost taxpayers $130 million more per year to have a smaller rotational basis of American units. Now, the argument can be made to say that we simply should not have troops deployed overseas at all if we aren't at war, and to let everyone else fend for themselves. But this goes against two strategic issues the United States currently faces: deterrence and great power competition. Despite the benefits of deterrence, it's hard to quantify and therefore difficult to show the general population how powerful a peacekeeping tool it is. Great power competition, a very specific term, the key word being competition. Since the end of the arms race of the Cold War, the rise of China as a superpower, we've been in an era of competition. In the geopolitical context, this refers to the three superpowers seeking to gain greater economic, political, and military cooperation in regions that currently do not hold strong ties to any particular nation. For China, this comes in the form of the Belt and Road Initiative, where China seeks to essentially strong-arm an economic connection by putting developing countries into debt via infrastructure projects. The United States takes a more military and political approach. A larger focus is to be primary defense partner with these countries. If a civil war breaks out in Chad, we want to be the ones they call for help. Those who are more cynical might view this as some kind of a popularity arms race with guns and range time. Now, of course, the DoD budget is not without its...
What do you think about that? That's actually a good point.
That we want to be their handyman and not China. When they have a leak, we want to be the plumber.
Do you think that's I actually think out of all the arguments, that's probably the most valid one.
It is one of the most valid ones.
Yeah. I'm not saying America needs to be the policeman, but I would prefer the West handle shit like that than China. But again, that kind of comes back to the point, international cooperation. But it's just it's the fucking poison circle of fucking cooperation and under cooperation. It's like
drawback. And it would be dishonest if I were to say that it's a perfect system with no problems whatsoever. There's a natural argument that the United States should be spending less on tanks and rifles and more on education and healthcare. And by no means am I saying that's not a legitimate and valid argument. That said, the DoD budget isn't just tanks and bullets. It's $1.5 billion a year on medical research and $58 billion on healthcare. It's hundreds of thousands for humanitarian and poverty-stricken countries and disaster relief for Americans. Services we can only provide by having a large expeditionary force at the ready. Finally, it's things people don't think about, like $2 billion a year for the Air Force to keep the GPS satellites running, a technology provided for free to anyone that has totally changed the world. We take for granted things like affordable gas, accessible personal technology, and physical security, but would be hard-pressed to have these things if other nations like Japan, Korea, Saudi Arabia, and the majority of the European world were in a constant state of threat or conflict. We tend to laugh at the idea of piracies in the 21st century attacking international shipments on sea, but only because those shipping ports are protected by an alliance of different navies. It can be hard to justify to some.
Well, I mean, kind of pointed out right there, right? International cooperation works. So that's the one criticism I have of this video, is the fact that he doesn't not talk about the international cooperation element and the underfunding of other militaries. It's like, I agree the U.S. military is overfunded. We should be using it for other things, long-term projects. But, because war is wasteful. Like, I think about it like this. A semiconductor gets, takes several months to make in a Taiwanese factory, only for it to be strapped to a missile and blown up.
Yes.
Yeah, war is wasteful as shit. So, like, yeah. But at the same time, the cost, it's like the Roman Empire. The cost of unraveling it might be higher in the short and long term. Because, like, oh, now we have to pay, now we just don't have semiconductors. China took it, blockaded the island, now we have to build our own. So for a few years, things are just expensive and shitty.
Another 60 billion here, another 80 billion there.
A lost trillion here. Yeah, I mean, that's also another problem, too. They don't survive audits, money goes missing.
$1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. Oh, what you know? We have an extra trillion here to spend on Ukraine.
See, that's a good point. It's like, and now that America basically gave away a lot of its old shit, we're gonna have to buy more shit.
Yeah.
Yay, defense spending.
Never was there a no. Congress only said more. Look, you can make the argument that the defense budget is too small, but I don't think there's a problem with us spending more. Because Congress is always going to... Congress has been on a one-way track to spending more for as long as I've been paying attention to politics.
I feel like I commentated over this video more than you.
Yeah, I mean...
Give us your perspective.
I don't think the problem is that Congress doesn't want to spend money on war. And if people are afraid that our military is too small, then listen here. Every year, President I think it was Trump, he asked for 60 billion. Congress gave him 80. You know, they gave him like 30%, 33% more than what he asked for.
So you would say it's wasteful?
I think
it's wasteful.
Just on, if you're afraid that it's too small, they're working on it. They're working on it, all right? Like, it is one thing we're doing. We're spending more.
So that's why I meant earlier. I think the real problem is corruption. It's like there's so much fucking bloat and there's no incentive to cut it. Like, we have this super wasteful spending habit and we don't think about efficiency. I feel like the Americans could still accomplish their same global mission with like 300 billion less than they have now.
Probably.
Like I agree with a lot of this to an extent, but I feel like the budget, like, the U.S. has been in this position for over like 80 years, since World War II. So my only problem with it is that China's so far behind us that if they're that close to us and they spend that much less, then we really need to re-examine the way we like spend on the military. Like our military is so corrupt and bloated that it's actively dragging down national security. You see my point?
Yeah.
Like if the military's actual cost was 500 billion, like, that would be great because you have 300 billion to give to whoever needs it or whatever needs it, and still
I guess my
accomplish
main
America's
problem
mission.
is that us spending like the title is how the giant U.S. defense budget is too small. Like, do we have a problem on spending more?
Yeah,
like I almost feel like it's a
really-
non-issue because if your call to action is to spend more in Congress to go for it, we're exceeding that marker.
You need to fund the auditory services.
Because like, let's say you want more funding for like food in classrooms, right? To
Mhm.
give children food. The call to action is to get your congressman to get the funding for it. But the congressmen are already doing well and above Stars and Stripes Beyond the Moon to get the spending. It's like they're already giving more than what they're asking.
Basically, in short, let's see if you agree with the statement. In short, there's always money for war.
Yeah, there's always money for war. The purse is nigh infinite.
I think it's really a corruption problem. You
Yeah.
have so much money just being wasted away that the only way to accommodate for it is by spending more infinitely. Like, that's not sustainable. Like, that is not a sustainable practice to keep doing forever. The American GDP will not continue to grow forever. I'm not of that opinion that it can grow forever. What, we're gonna go to fucking space? Like we're going to run out of shit. Like, the economy is built on debt.
That's what Space Force is for.
Our economy is built on debt. And,
we're getting the titanium in Mars.
America will grow forever. Space America.
Democracy will not fade in the universe. No.
Well, I'm glad that this. How do you feel about your introduction to the defense analysis, people?
Okay. Like, it just feels like a non-issue.
I wish he talked more about corruption.
Yeah.
But
I can see the argument that, like, oh, it's really we need to be spending more in some other areas. You can argue the allocations there that you need it in some other areas, but like, what's your call to action? Like, what's your end goal? Like, do you want Congress to spend more?
Yeah, I guess that's the point.
But that isn't an issue.
I mean, he even pointed out that a lot of it's waste.
Yeah, but this isn't a video. Like, he even made, like, okay, on the side there's waste, but this isn't a video about waste particularly. This is a video about how military is expensive and we need to spend it
more.
Yeah, but
I get what your point is. It's like he added a lot of tangents.
Yeah, I just don't see where the call to like should we just be asking our congressman to go even more above and beyond? Like,
if the military wants more money, it needs to be less. It needs to be more like Congress needs to be more concerned.
The commander in chief gets more than what he asked for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think asking for more is particularly a hard thing to do.
We don't.
If Trump asked for 80 billion, they probably would have given him 100. Like,
we don't audit the military.
Yeah, like, I don't see that as an issue.
Yeah.
Only like auditing is the issue.
Mm-hmm. Task and purpose.
Yeah.
You need to go more into corruption and auditing. We think you had some good arguments, but I think honestly, I think you're missing the main issue. Maybe on purpose, maybe not. I can't really tell. Anyway, that is it for today. We hope you guys all enjoyed. Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry. We had someone watching. Shit, we're wrapping up. We spend more to service debt than on defensive spending. Debt has become unsustainable.
Sorry.
We are spending close to $1 trillion a year in interest on national debt. Yeah, unfortunately though, debt's like useful because debt is investment spending. Like that debt that we accrue.
Oh, I don't think they're watching anymore.
Well, just to answer that person, because they said we service $1 trillion in debt and it's unsustainable. Well, like, you got to remember that the debt that we get is investment from other countries. So a lot of it is. So like that keeps the economy going. Debt on its own isn't bad. Too much of it is. Admittedly, I do hate the political time bomb of the American economy, but that's a completely different complaint. The whole, if our shit fails, the whole world basically falls with us.
Luckily, our worth in assets is beating the debt. So
Yeah,
If we ever
keeping
want
our
to
head above
liquidate
water.
America.
Head above water, treading water. Nothing like that. Anyway, sorry that we didn't see you, Patrick Time. We are glad you came through.
Yeah, sorry. We were just too caught up in the video.
Anyway, that is it for the night. Goodbye, you guys. We love you. Thank you for watching. And you got anything to say?